All right, Dave, thanks. The drama continues in the Southeastern Conference, and the final kickoff of the day is a battle of Tigers. 16th ranked Mizzou on the road for the first time taking on Auburn. This is SEC Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. And despite a 3-game losing streak, they have sold out Jordan-Hare once again for this passionate and dedicated fan base. And the Missouri Tigers playing in front of a road crowd for the very first time this season, the last FBS team to play a road game. And the Tigers matching up with the Tigers of Auburn, who are trying to get things right and hoping to avoid an 0-4 start in league play for the 3rd straight season as they take the field at Jordan-Hare. The atmosphere here in this building and inside the loveliest village on the plains has not been one that matches a program that has lost 3 games in a row. 2 of those coming in dramatic fashion and with plenty of controversy. The enthusiasm still high. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers and Cole Kulick. But Cole, that doesn't mean that there are answers offensively. When we met with head coach Hugh Freeze yesterday, his patience is worn thin with the quarterback position. We may see a change tonight.
And I asked him again to re-emphasize that on the field here before the game, Tom, and he said the offense cannot continue to struggle the way that it has. The decision-making from Jackson Arnold has to improve. I asked him about Ashton Daniels. Said he had an excellent week of practice. Do not be surprised if this offense gets bogged down in the mud for the first couple of series if Hugh Freeze looks to make a switch at the quarterback position. He has confidence in what Ashton Daniels can potentially bring.
All right, Cole, thanks. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jordan, what Auburn's offense has been, the change of scenery from the first half against Georgia to the second where they couldn't move the ball at all. How can Jackson Arnold get right so he can stay in the game?
Well, he's got to hit explosive plays. That's been what this offense is missing. In the 3 straight losses, they haven't eclipsed 300 yards, right? They've moved the ball at times, but the second half of Georgia, it was just not good, for lack of a better term. And so Jackson Arnold, we spoke with Hugh Freeze, the decision making. It's not that plays aren't there. He's got to pull the trigger. He's got to find guys like Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton downfield when the opportunities are there. And we've kind of seen him tuck the ball, run with it, be hesitant at times. It's going to be a short leash for Jackson Arnold. This team is too good on defense to waste bad offensive performances.
Indeed, this is an elite defensive team, especially against the run. And that defense has carried them to this point in the season and kept them in these SEC games.
Yeah, and this one's going to be fun to watch. It's strength on strength. This Auburn defense is so good stopping the run. They play really physical man defense on the back end. And they're going up against Ahmad Hardy, who's arguably the best running back in all of college football. His story is unbelievable. From an unheralded recruit, just offers from Southern Miss and ULM, goes to ULM, now his first opportunity in the SEC. He has been absolutely electric. You see the ranks there. He's near the top of every category. And what you're going to see tonight is a guy that never gets tackled the first time a defender hits him. He's a bowling ball out there, and Auburn's going to have to slow him down to win this game.
Well, they've got a blueprint to do it. Alabama stifled Hardy in the Mizzou run game last week, and the Tigers' first loss of this season under head coach Eli Drinkwitz. Missouri has won 21 consecutive games against unranked opponents. Pyros have cleared out where they're hoping to see their home team get back on track. Missouri won the toss. The Tigers in black and gold have elected to defer, and so Auburn will receive. And we'll see if Jackson Arnold can get the offense going early. Rayshawn Pleasant back for Auburn, standing near the goal line. Aubie's fired up and ready to go. Got a headband on. These teams have met in the postseason. They met in the 1973 Sun Bowl. They met in Atlanta for an SEC championship. And last year it was a Missouri comeback in the 4th quarter in the head-to-head. One through the back of the end zone and a touchback. So here comes Jackson Arnold, a junior from Denton, Texas, out of Denton Guyer, started his college career as a heralded 5-star recruit at Oklahoma.
Yeah, talent has never been an issue with Jackson Arnold. He has as much talent and physical gifts as anybody in college football. It's about decision making, and when it comes to third downs, money situations, executing at a high level. It's what they couldn't do in the second half against Georgia. He's got to find Cam Coleman here early in this game to get some momentum going.
Jeremiah Cobb is the starting running back for Auburn. And he'll get a touch on the first play from scrimmage as he lowers his shoulders and picks up 6. Let's take a look at the impact players when Auburn's got the ball.
Yeah, it's the both tackles, Xavier Chaplin and Mason Murphy, because if Auburn wants to push the ball downfield, they got to worry about Damon Wilson and Zion Young on the other side, who have combined for 8.5 sacks, 2 of the best pass rushers in the SEC.
And now Arnold to throw, and he slings it near side. That's good for a first down to Perry Thompson.
And this has got to be a little bit of the game plan early, right? Because these wide receivers for Auburn, like Perry Thompson and Eric Singleton and Cam Coleman, so much speed and athleticism. Missouri, more of a cover 3 team. They're going to play some zone, give them space at the line of scrimmage. So early in this game, Jackson Arnold has to take those easy throws to open up the downfield shots.
Full house backfield surrounding Arnold, and now they'll shift and go to single back with Singleton moving into the slot. Back to the ground game, and Jeremiah Cobb. Cobb's coming off of a 12-carry, 50-yard performance in the loss to Georgia. The Auburn offense, deep ball or not, has been less than explosive all season. And that showed up in the Georgia game, especially in the second half. Arnold threw his progressions and a drop off the hands of Perry Thompson.
Hey, Jordan, I'll go back to that quick game you mentioned for Auburn. Hugh Freeze told me before the game, wants to try to draw that defense up to give them some potential shots down the field a little bit later.
And here on third down, third and passing situation, watch these 2 tackles. See if they can hold up against Damon Wilson and Zion Young. Right here and right here, 2 of the best pass rushers, as I mentioned, in the SEC.
Wilson 11th in the country in quarterback pressures this season. They bring 5 rushers, and it goes to the slant. It'll be short of the first down to Eric Singleton. And that'll bring up 4th and 1.5, if not a full 2. And the offense is going to stay on the field near midfield. You like this?
I love it. Don't hesitate either. Make that call. Get to the line of scrimmage. Don't give Missouri time to adjust. I feel like they're taking a little too much time here.
7 fourth-down conversions for the Auburn offense on the season, but they failed twice in the second half against Georgia.
And this is an area to watch Jackson. Great run.
Arnold wants to throw. Lets it go. Puts a lot of air underneath it, and a leaping grab made by Perry Thompson, and the officials trying to confirm. Arvin Burks had the coverage, and they'll say he brought it down inbounds, and a first down for the Tigers.
Well, it's a good job by Jackson Arnold of holding on this one. That is, oh man, it's just going to be out of bounds.
Pass interference, defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it wipes off a 25-yard gain because he was out of bounds, but a first down for Auburn. That will extend the possession.
Yeah, that's Marvin Burks. Was ejected in the first half last week against Alabama for a targeting play there. Nice little pick or rub route by this Auburn offense on that one. Gave Perry Thompson the advantage, and Burks was playing catch up, a little too much contact.
Well, one thing Hugh Freeze has to like is Jackson Arnold's giving his wide receivers an opportunity to make the catch.
The air on the ball was nice there. A lot of times Jackson will throw that ball a little too flat, not give his guys time to adjust.
Same starting 5 all season on the Auburn offensive line, though their production has been hit and miss as Jeremiah Cobb gets it again on first down for a pickup of 5.
A ton of value in that hard count there, though. You saw the left side of that Missouri defensive line not necessarily being able to fire off the football. You make them second-guess things a little bit. They play back on their heels, not able to tee off. That can help that Auburn offensive line throughout the course of the game.
Arnold looking left side, now back to the right. And fires incomplete. By the way, to follow up on the conversation we had with Hugh Freeze yesterday about the quarterback position, he said this is not something that I need to talk to Jackson about. I don't need to put it in his head, hey, if you don't play well or produce, you're going to be looking over your shoulder. He said, I'll take it series by series, but we've got to make plays. And he reiterated that, quite honestly, publicly throughout the week on his radio show, to the local media. I don't think he's hiding it publicly what he's looking for.
No doubt. No, these first couple drives will be judged very critically on how Jackson Arnold navigates.
Missouri brings 5. Arnold escapes the pocket. Little pump fake to buy some time. And Arnold's legs pick up a first down against the Missouri blitz on a gain of 12.
Well, we talked about the pass rush from Missouri. Watch Zion Young on the left side. He's going to work a speed pass rush right here, and he's going to get too deep. That allows Jackson Arnold to step up in that window that was left. See, that gets outfield way too far, leaves that step-through lane for Jackson Arnold. Great job trusting his athleticism there. Sometimes a quarterback is dealing with a little bit of confidence issues. Getting things going with your legs early really help that out. Get you back in rhythm.
He's taken shots to the confidence since he got on campus in Norman. They run it with Malcolm Simmons, who breaks a tackle, and he gets hog-tied at the 5 and thrown out of bounds. That's a pickup of 15.
Boy, you're getting reminisce of that first drive from Georgia last week, right, where this Auburn offense was hitting on all cylinders. 14 plays, 75 yards on that one to start the game, to set the tone.
And in that opening drive, they converted 4 third downs. They had only been 3 for 28 on third down coming in. Remember, they got skunked by A&M on third down a couple weeks prior. Arnold out of the gun. Looking end zone. Surveys everybody. They're all covered. And he'll take off, aiming for the pylon. And he barrels his way to the goal line. They say he's out of bounds just short. Toriana Pride laid a hit on Jackson Arnold, meeting him at the goal line.
Boy, protection was great. Coverage was even better. So Arnold once again using his legs. I love the effort here. Put your shoulder down, kid.
They're going to take a look and see if Arnold didn't break the play. Where have you heard that before?
Short of the goal line is under video review.
It was a play that turned the game around against Georgia last week when he tried to stretch over the goal line, and it was ruled to be a fumble. That let Georgia back in the game.
Well, it's a great hit by Toriano Pride. Where is that ball? It is in his right arm. Really tough to see.
And it might have been the Josiah Trotter hit that kept him from getting it over. Kyle Olson is our referee, and Jim Labarde is handling the replays.
Boy, where's that elbow? Can you see that elbow peeking around before the hands? I just don't think there's enough there. Well, you're right. Pride with a great initial hit. Trotter coming behind to clean it up. You know what I love, though? Did you see the Auburn sideline after Jackson put his shoulder down? Going nuts. This is a team losing 3 straight. They need moments to boost their confidence, get some momentum, get some positivity, and sometimes it takes your quarterback putting his shoulder down, putting his body on the line for his team.
After video review, the ruling on the field has been upheld. Second down.
Hey, to that point, Jordan, Hugh Freeze told me on the field before the game, he spoke to Jackson Arnold today, said, hey, man, cut it loose. Be aggressive. Take your chances. Take your shots. And it looks like it could be paying off here early.
It's an Auburn offense. It's 112th in the country in total offense. But first drive against Georgia and the opening drive so far tonight, they look altogether different. This will be the 11th play of the drive. What do you like here?
I may be old school. I always love just a quarterback sneak from here, but you got a quarterback who doesn't operate under center a ton. So I expect some kind of inside zone read. Try to get a good push, some double teams up front. Give Arnold the chance to read the defensive end and maybe keep it.
Dobbs is running back. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns on the year. He'll get a try, and he barrels towards the line, but spun his wheels. And may have lost a foot. That brings up 3rd and goal.
go back to what Jordan said. You don't get under center a whole lot, okay? You understand that. You stay in a shotgun. The offensive line doesn't have to operate that way, though. Get in a real three-point stance, get in a four-point stance, fire off the football. You don't have to stay in a two-point stance just because it's gun.
Third and goal, opening possession for Auburn. Arnold on a QB draw, works his way in. Stretched it over the line. There's a flag on the far side. As of now, a touchdown plunge for Arnold.
Offside. Defense. Number 0. Lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. Score's good.
And Jackson Arnold's got the juices flowing here early tonight.
Absolutely love it. It's a little QB power lead. He's going to get a puller. He's going to get a lead from his back, and watch the over rotation from this side. Arnold does a great job of cutting his back. Trotter overplays it to the front side. Arnold reads that, breaks through an arm tackle, extends for the goal line, and what a drive for Auburn to start this game.
Alec McPherson punches it through, but there are multiple flags flying. Look like a parade.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 players on the field at the time of the snap. The kick is good. That penalty is declined.
12 plays, 75 yards, and 5:06 off the clock for Jackson Arnold and the Auburn Tigers. Second consecutive week, they've put together a masterful opening drive. Let's see if they can hold on to the momentum here at Jordan-Hare. Looking for a reset, a change of scenery. He said, my whole career has been filled with adversity. Just need to go out there and play football, throw it up, let my guys get it. That's what he did on the fourth down play. The pass interference allowed the drive to continue, and then Auburn eventually punched it in. DeVorce Jones back to receive for Missouri. And there will be no return for the Tigers. And both Prabula, who transferred to Missouri in the offseason, leaving a Penn State team that was headed to the college football playoff. His former road roommate Drew Aller saw his season come to an end last week, and now Bo, coming off the first loss as Missouri Tiger, trying to get back on track.
Yeah, probably one of the more efficient quarterbacks in the entire country until the Alabama game last week. His worst statistical performance of his career. But remember, at Penn State, he was a gadget guy. Never really operated a game for 4 quarters, so great learning opportunity. A couple turnovers on decisions that he'd like to have back. How he responds and whether the run game gets going are going to be the storyline for Bo bouncing back this week.
No Ahmad Hardy to start the game. It's Jamal Roberts in there, and a little misdirection on the first snap, and to the tight end, Brett Norfleet, and it's batted away by Kane Lee. Great play. Here are the impact players.
Yeah, it's Ahmad Hardy and both linebackers on the other side, Xavier Atkins and Robert Woodyard. Missouri loves to do what we call outside zone. You're going to see a handoff. They're going to try to get the edge. They want everybody moving lateral, and Hardy's going to try to find a lane to get north and south. These linebackers got a big task in front of them today to slow down this really good Missouri rushing attack.
Second in the country in rushing for Hardy, the sophomore out of Oma, Mississippi, by way of Louisiana Monroe. And he tries to work it inside, and Auburn is all over it. Keldrick Falk in on the stop along with Keon Crawford.
And this is not where Missouri wants to live. They were 1 for 10 last week on third downs. Kind of for that, what you saw right there. They didn't run the football effectively after the first drive. Too many third longs is not where Bo Prabula and Eli Drinkwitz want this offense.
Eli was on the season. He knows how tough a place to play can be when the crowd gets into it. So he wanted to start this game with a conservative game plan. Tougher when you're facing third and long. Prabula over the middle, and Kevin Coleman Jr. finds a soft spot to pick up the first down. Gain of 15.
Boy, Kevin Coleman banged up a little bit last week against Alabama, had an ankle injury, was in and out of the lineup, but he is their go-to guy. Leads the SEC in receptions, third in the SEC in yak yards. Kirby Moore, the offensive coordinator for Missouri, does a great job of moving Kevin Coleman all over the field. Motions, shifts, finding ways to get him in space. And a big pickup there on third.
Here's Hardy trying to find the out. I gotta get back to that. You said yak yards. You know, my mom's watching tonight, so I know she's asking, what does that announcer mean by yak?
Well, I probably shouldn't have followed up yak with yards, because it's kind of the same thing. Yards after catch, right? Coleman's one of those guys, you want to get him the ball in space. They really don't target him downfield. It's lateral. It's horizontal plays to get him in space, and then he's great with the ball in his hands.
Saw Keon Crawford play that vertically upfield, something DJ Durkin stressed to us in those meetings, fellas.
So they want to attack to try to disrupt Missouri's outside run game, and they do it right there. Keldrick Falk is in. And Cole, to your point right before the play, exactly how DJ Durkin can be disrupted.
You want to spike the outside zone play that Jordan mentioned earlier in the broadcast. So go ahead and get upfield, force that back to make a decision quickly. You're going to cut it back, go back. You're going to have to outside if that's the decision that you want to make. Excellent job by Keldrick Falk getting north and south against that Mizzou offensive line.
And that's that outside zone play. You don't, as a D lineman, want to just run with the offensive lineman. You want to get vertical. Great job there by Auburn.
Third and long for Missouri. Roberts is the back now. O-line holds. Prabula deep and too strong. Overthrew Kevin Coleman. Prabula's deep ball has not been effective over the course of this season, and after converting a 3rd and 10, they failed to convert a 3rd and 14, and that'll bring the punt team on the field for Eli Drinkwitz and Connor Wessel.
Yeah, Prabula just not a pocket passer. That's not his comfort zone. They want to move the pocket, get his legs involved. Third and longs aren't going to be good for this Missouri team against this elite Auburn defense.
Malcolm Simmons gets taken down immediately after the Wesselman punt. They covered 41 yards. Auburn's second possession of the night from a sold-out Jordan Hare. Coming up next.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
First ever meeting between these programs came in El Paso, Texas, and tight ends named Kelsey have been big in Missouri for a long time. That was John Kelsey for the touchdown on the halfback pass, and then John Mosley with an 84-yard return for a touchdown. He was one of the best in the country back in 1973 for head coach Al Onofrio. Shug Jordan on the other side for Auburn. Back side for Auburn. Back then, Cole, the offensive line averaged 227 pounds. This year, Missouri's tipping the scales at 316.
Quick as cats, though, Tom. You get laterally, dive at those knees and ankles on a regular basis. Didn't have the training table back then that they have now. Big advantage for these kids.
No, didn't have Uber Eats, you know.
No, they had breakfast at Ernie's.
You had to walk to get stuff. Like,
hey, Booch's was still open except on Sundays. See you in church. So 1st and 10 for the Auburn Tigers and Jackson Arnold. And he wants to throw on 1st down, and a beautifully placed pass. It goes off the hands of Cam Coleman. Toriano Pride Jr. had the coverage for Missouri. You can't fault Jackson Arnold for that one.
You knew it was coming, right? The early hitch play because the coverage was soft. This time it's man coverage. Cam runs right by Toriano Pride, and that one is perfectly placed from Jackson Arnold. He came into this game 0 for 6 last week on throws of 10 plus and 1 for 12 in his last 2 games. That one should have been a big play, if not a touchdown for Coleman.
And now it's time again, and it's intercepted. Pride with great hands and a takeaway for the first pick for Jackson Arnold since September 21st of last year.
Just a first real mistake for Jackson Arnold. You can see there the first interception in a long, long time. You're going to see him work the left side, the top of your screen. You got Cam Coleman on a little hitch route. You got running back on a little whip route. That ball was just kind of in between both. I'm not sure if that was behind Jeremiah Cobb. I think it might have been. Oh, see, look at him. He's saying, I thought Cobb was going to settle right there. So in man coverage, the running back's going to go up and then go outside or inside. In zone, he's going to sit. And I think Arnold expected him to sit right there, and interception.
So second possession for Missouri, and Bo Prabula with a nice spin move. That's a gain of 6 on 1st down. Okay, so you give Jackson Arnold credit for that. A drop on 1st down. You go back and a miscommunication, wrong route against the zone. Unfortunately, when you're the quarterback, it all falls on your shoulder.
No doubt.
Here's Hardy coming off of his least effective performance of the season, and that sets up 3rd and less than 1.
Auburn's bringing in some bigger bodies there up front.
Hardy 2nd in the country in rushing. Missouri's 4th in the nation in 3rd down conversions. His Auburn defense has been almost as good. There's a quick snap. Hardy sneaks through before he gets hit. And he picks up the 1st down. Cole, you watch tape on Ahmad Hardy. This guy doesn't seem to stop moving no matter how many times he gets hit.
Well, it was funny. I talked to Ryan Reynolds, the strength coach, about him. I said, he's got to be just one of the more powerful guys you have. He said the explosive stuff, yes, he's not just crazy weight room strong, but you would think that he was when you watch him on film. Defenders just bounce off of him, and you would think that there's no way he's going to survive some of the hits that he takes. Not only does he survive them, he continues to stay on his feet.
Came out of nowhere. Now be a star in the SEC. For a 5-1 Missouri team. Prabula has Norfleet, sidearms it out to his tight end, and he gets taken down before picking up a yard by Robert Woodyard Jr.
Norfleet's been so good for this offense. Finally healthy. Been really banged up over his career. Had the big touchdown catch on the first drive versus Alabama last week. With how much outside zone and how much movement this run game gets out of these linebackers on the other side, Norfleet's such a weapon in the play-action game. That time Auburn all over it.
Time for the national lead in receiving touchdowns by a tight end. And another one against Georgia. Hardy. Whoa, immediately taken down. He's got back to the original line of scrimmage, but Amaris Williams with the bear hug.
Wow, Amaris Williams. Penetration was the key for DJ Durkin, and also wanted to compress these A and B and C gaps. You can see that's a great job by Williams right there of setting a firm edge and making the tackle, and another 3rd and long for Missouri.
Tigers 2 of 3 on 3rd down tonight. Timeout taken by Eli Drinkwitz.
Timeout, Missouri.
He'll try to settle this Auburn crowd and recognizes the opportunity in front of him after the takeaway in positive field position. Back to Jordan Hare in a moment. Alabama had the answer for Missouri's offense on 3rd downs. And now the Tigers trying to extend this drive that started with a Toriano Pride interception.
Keep an eye on Keldrick Falk, the talented pass rusher for Auburn. They move him around up front on these 3rd downs. He's inside right here.
Tigers send Marquise Johnson in motion. Pabula with a check and a signal out to Johnson, number 2. Looking to the right. Fires! Complete for a 1st down. He put some zip on that one to Joshua Manning.
That was a great job by Manning. Protection picked up. Pabula's got a nice pocket, and Manning does a good job of seeing it and just sitting in that zone bubble right there.
Missouri was magnificent on 3rd down in the game against Kansas, and they started out picking them apart in zone. That was a big part of their 2nd half comeback. 1st and goal for the Tigers. Pabula tried to run with it, and he gets taken down before he can get back to the line. Caleb Harris came crashing in from his safety spot.
This D-line for Auburn has been impressive. I mean, they were impressive on film. They've been impressive all year, but they came to play tonight.
Big 97 right there, Jordan. Bobby Jamison, Travis, he gets absolutely no credit. Does all the dirty work on the interior. This Auburn defensive line has been great all year.
Minneapolis native, played JUCO at Iowa Western. 2nd and goal for Mizzou.
Kevin Coleman, wide receiver in the backfield here.
Coleman releases. Prabula trying to take off. That gap closed quickly. And he was tripped up by Bobby Jamison Travis, who reached out with a big paw and yanked him down.
See how quickly they got to the line of scrimmage and snapped that one. They were really trying to get Coleman leaked in the flat on a linebacker down here in the low red zone. DJ Durkin and his defense all over it.
And they ran that same route the play before, but it was with Ahmad Hardy.
Yep.
Now 3rd and goal.
This is where your big tight end, Brett Norfleet, becomes a mismatch down here in the low red zone. 87.
Four-man rush. Prabula escapes traffic once. There's a flag down, 2 of them. And Prabula barely got out of the pocket. You've got to knock some sod off of that face mask.
Boy, Atkins came right through the line of scrimmage on that one.
Holding, offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Kyle Olsen, or what
penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
And Curtis Piegler, the Alabama native, is the one that got flagged, and now Missouri bring on the kicking team for a chip shot. Freshman Robert Meyer has handled the kicking duties for Missouri. To deal with an injury to their starter early in the season. This is a 24-yard attempt. Trying to get the visitors from Columbia on the board. Operations clean, and the kick is good. All of that, a 10-play drive nets just 24 yards. And Mizzou takes 5:05 off the clock, but can't find the end zone. Eli Drinkwitz and the team have left Boone County for the first time this season. You still collect your per diem when you don't leave home?
Oh, I used to love road per diem. I don't think you do.
No, they had a bye week after the homecoming win against UMass, lost to Alabama, and now trip down. They actually flew into Montgomery and had some travel issues. Flight was a little bit late.
Isn't that pretty wild? 6 straight weeks at home?
Yeah. I don't think you would draw it up that way.
No.
What's he checking Facebook right now?
Coach trying to figure out where his per diem is.
Yeah. Always be recruiting, huh? Oliver Robbins will kick off. Rayshawn Pleasant. His orange spikes back on the Auburn goal line. And Pleasant will let it drop. Dig back into Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, did a great job of being decisive with his feet. Not sitting, waiting in the pocket as we've seen at times this year, but when things break down, use your athleticism, get outside the pocket, and try to make something happen. 2 really good scrambles. And then it was the miscommunication with Jeremiah Cobb. Thought he was going to sit in the zone. He breaks out. How do they respond, right? The play before that had the Cam Coleman drop down the sideline. There might have been a 70-yard touchdown, then the interception. Auburn's been able to have fast starts. It's how they respond that's been the question.
And another drop. That was Cam Coleman. Sophomore from just down the road in Phoenix City, Alabama.
Keep in mind, though, fellas, this is what Hugh Freeze told us in the meetings. Some of these quick outlets, being able to pull the ball out, spin it to those receivers in soft coverage. He had not been making the decision to do that enough this year. The offensive staff didn't think so. He's been doing it tonight. Also, the Missouri edge defenders are crashing those pullers quickly. Could mean some yards outside of them later on the ground for the Auburn offense.
That includes Damon Wilson, the second, number 8, top of the formation for Missouri. And Arnold fits it in, threads it to Coleman.
I love that. Go right back to him. You're going to need him tonight. Don't let him stew on those 2 drops. That was a nice catch in tight coverage. Used his hands there away from his body. And a good accurate throw from Arnold.
Arnold waiting for a sign from the Auburn sideline. And now they'll reset the formation. Plenty of time on the play clock. Singleton just running back and forth. And may have still been moving.
Singleton's got to be set for a full second.
False start. Offense. Not all 11 players were set for 1 second prior to the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Saw the same thing from Cole last night at Acre when the fried bacon came out.
Too quick to it?
Very quick to it. There were 2 plates, and he said, no, bring them both over here.
Cole usually orders his own plate of bacon and then one for the table, everybody else, you know.
I gave a third of it away.
They're down 10. Third possession for Auburn. Second possession ended with a pick. Mizzou sends the house. Arnold gets swallowed up and dropped. It's Chris McClellan with the first sack of the night for Missouri. It's a loss of 7.
And McClellan working on Jeremiah Wright. All the attention's been on these tackles, but watch McClellan right here looping around. Protection on the outside is actually really good. One-on-one with Jeremiah Wright, and McClellan just relentless. Did a great job of getting to the level of the quarterback, not rushing past him, right, which we've seen a couple times tonight, but condensing the pocket and getting to Arnold.
The Aussie, Hudson Cock, gets it away, and we get a fair catch granted to Kevin Coleman Jr. after a 46-yard punt. Let's take a look at Ahmad Hardy.
Yeah, this is the outside zone. This is what they want to do. Get all offensive linemen going in one way. They either want to get the edge, hope you misfit a gap, or then cut back. A lot of things can happen when you go sideline to sideline. Right here, you got a Bama player jumping out of a gap that opens up 2 holes, and then they also don't set a firm edge. So nothing going right here for Bama. That was early. Missouri had the run game going, and then Bama got really gap sign. You see everybody holding their gaps laterally, and then they started setting a firm edge. There was nowhere for Hardy to go. That's what you want to do against this outside zone. You want to stay in your gap, you want to set an edge, and you want to try to get vertical penetration, as we've said a couple times tonight. This entire offense really starts and gets rolling off that play, and so far tonight haven't been able to get it going.
The 9 of their 15 snaps have gone for 0 or negative yards so far tonight. Hardy trying to find the edge on the backside, and he's able to scramble for a first down.
Yeah, so now you mix it up, right? You get a little bit away from the outside zone, get north and south. Kirby Moore just trying to get things going for this Missouri offense.
Ahmad Hardy's trying to get it going. Tigers had a field goal last possession as we head to the second quarter. We've got a tight one in the final game of the Southeastern Conference tonight. 7-3 Auburn. Auburn with an early lead, 7-3 moments ago. Cole Kublik with Hugh Freeze.
Coach Freeze, quick game looks good for Jackson Arnold tonight. He's had some opportunities down the field. He's taken them. How do you feel about his aggressiveness?
Yeah, really good. You know, it's his first pick. Kind of excited about it. Glad our defense held him to 3. You know, thought we had a touchdown there. That's not normal for Cam. We've had 2 more drops. You know, we've got to just settle in and win that first down. And I think we've got a good plan to move it, but you got to win first down.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Here's Ahmad Hardy after a 17-yard gain. Picks up a gain of about 8 on that one. Some people questioning that comment from Hugh Freeze. Cole, help us make sense of being excited about a pick.
We had Jaden Daniels when he was at LSU a couple of years ago. Brian Kelly told us early in the season, I need him to throw an interception. I want him to throw an interception. We both looked at each other like, what in the world are you talking about? You got to explain that to us, Coach. And he said, until he understands it's okay to take the chances, to take the risks, we're not going to get explosive plays. We introduced that comment to both Jackson Arnold and Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze lit up when we told him that. He said, exactly, yes. He's got to take chances. He's got to take risks if we're going to get the explosives that we need. And I think that's what Hugh Freeze was excited about right there. But it does sound crazy, yes.
Yeah, and it would have looked different if it came on a deep ball or on 3rd and long. But regardless, Missouri only held to a field goal, and now the Tigers looking at a 3rd and 2. Prabula fakes the pitch, will run for the first down. And a fresh set of downs for Missouri.
You know, Jordan can speak to it more than you and I can, Tom, but I imagine Jordan mentally, it means just as much in that scenario as it does what the intended pass was or where the route was.
No doubt, especially when you look up at the scoreboard and the sky's not falling, right? That pick didn't turn into a touchdown. You still got a lead. Yeah, you don't want to turn the football over, but for a guy that went 320-something straight passes without an interception, sometimes you just need to get that off your chest and go out there and let it rip. Stop trying to play so perfect. Take some risks.
Here's Hardy again. And he gets met in the hole for maybe a gain of 1 by Xavier Atkins.
The lack of a downfield passing threat right now for Missouri is really condensing the football field. Auburn is challenging them at the line of scrimmage. Safeties are playing low. Eyes in the backfield.
Second and 9. Beulah's deep ball has been inefficient over the course of the season. Quick release out to Marquise Johnson, and he cuts it back inside. Little wiggle to this run, and he bends it back inside. I think he's tackling Rock Corey at night. Cole, that's a pickup 19.
He's a guy that means a lot to this offense for a lot of different reasons, and a young man that's been through a lot as well. It's really cool to see him having some success. We'll get more into his story as the game goes on.
He was really frustrated, thought he was open just about every play last week against Alabama, and he let those emotions show.
Yeah. Felt like he got missed in the scramble drill early in that game. Then obviously the last interception of the game was wide open. Good to see him get some touches and get some positivity between that quarterback-receiver connection again after a tough loss last week.
Play clock is already at 5 out of the pistol now. Puts it into Hardy's belly, and good vision to cut back. Atkins in on another stop for Auburn. Ahmad Hardy came out of nowhere, both figuratively from a football standpoint, literally, tiny town.
Watch Keldrick Falk right here. Just being stout at the point of attack, getting penetration, not allowing Ahmad Hardy to find a gap and get vertical. That's just a really good job by this Auburn front, playing firm on the front side of these outside zones.
Now 2nd and 7. Prabula swings it out intermediate to Josh Manning. Champ Anthony in on the stop, and they surge across the line. There'll be a first down, 1st and goal from the 2. They had 2 options out there on the quick release.
Yeah, I love the play calling from Kirby Moore. Just the answer, right? The run game's not working. So what do? You go to the extension of the run game, the screen game, the quick throws to the outside. Get that defensive line that's playing so good for Auburn right now. Running sideline to sideline. Get them tired a little bit, and that's when the inside runs can start hitting.
10th in the country in scoring. The offense are going a glow up this year, for sure. Under center, here's Hardy. And there's the end zone. Ahmad Hardy with the touchdown plunge. And Mizzou's got its first lead of the night on a 2-yard run.
Boy, look at how Auburn aligned to this. You have you have 2 bodies, 2 tight ends over here, and you got 4 guys over here on this side. Only aligned over 2 offensive linemen. I think the strength was identified wrong on that play. Should have had at least 1 more body on the other side to the 2 tight end or the extra offensive lineman side. And Missouri just able to exploit it.
Meyer on for the point after. And in a battle of Tigers, Missouri cashes in with a 9-play, 65-yard drive and the 10th rushing touchdown of the season. One of the best in the country. Out of Omaha, Mississippi, Ahmad Hardy finds pay dirt. Take a look at Fansville, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. One Auburn fan we didn't see in those shots, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had qualifying this morning at Talladega and then came back down here to see his buddy Hugh Freeze. He sat in on our production meeting yesterday. And I thought the funniest part, Cole, that meeting and hanging out with the NASCAR driver was he was supposed to come down with Kyle Larson. I said, well, who drives?
Did Kyle Larson not come with you?
No, he bailed. He bailed. I don't know why, but
he must be a Big Ten fan.
yeah, he's at home. He's got a big playoff race tomorrow, trying to get on to the playoffs. So, man, we're here for the Yellowwood 500 down here pulling on my boy Coach Freeze. They got a little work to do. I'm
impressed you didn't go with like your gear sponsor, your car sponsor, your tire sponsor, all the stickers you got in the car. You guys just usually roll those out just out of nowhere.
Well, we got the Jack Links ride this weekend, the non-vegan car. So come cheer us on Sunday. I'm glad to be in Alabama, glad to be at Auburn watching this football game.
How did qualifying go?
Qualifying didn't go well, but we qualified, I think, 34th here at this race last year. Went on to win, so hopefully we can do the same tomorrow.
It's just survival, right? Just being there when the big one happens, get to the front.
That's right. You know, hey, it's like playing SEC football every weekend. You gotta miss the big tackles, big wrecks in our race. But man, we'll have a massive crowd. I just gave some tickets away to some of the students over in the student section, so hopefully they come on, cheer us out in the number 47 car tomorrow.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
Thank you.
There you go, Tom. Ricky Stenhouse. Didn't even talk about prices of tires.
No, it didn't. Qualified 37 today. Michael McDowell be on the pole. Injured Missouri Tiger.
Did he say vegan car?
I believe so.
Well, the sponsor, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the car inherently is also vegan.
I would hope so. He's been big Hugh Freeze fan since back in the days when Hugh was head coach at Ole Miss. Ricky's a Mississippi native. That's Darius Smith, the injured Tiger out of Appling County High School over in Baxley, Georgia. He backs up Damon Wilson at one end spot. And the 6'5" Smith will be able to walk under his own power back to the Missouri sideline with the athletic training staff. Second down 8.
Second down 8 from the 27.
For Jackson Arnold and Auburn.
A big 2-down series right here. The fast start from Auburn like they had against Georgia. Then the interception. Got to get things going here in the second quarter.
We'll start with a full house and a motion out of it. Numbers to the right, they come back to the left. And a good tackle in the hole of Eric Singleton, who gets wrapped up by Tristan Newsom. What do you learn when you shift out of that formation?
Well, right there they wanted them to overload that one side, right? Shifted everybody to the right, hoping they bump those linebackers over. They can get a little misdirection. With Singleton going the other way, just a really good job staying sound on the backside by Mizzou.
I appreciate you sticking with the nice car theme there, Tom.
5 wide in the turn. Arnold, pressure, dances his way out of it, and then he takes a hit at the 32. And that'll bring up 4th down. Talking with Missouri's fine defensive coordinator Corey Batoon pregame, he said, we feel like Jackson Arnold looks at the rush a lot. When that happens, his eyes get down, he stops looking downfield, and we can force him in the pocket.
Well, I think that's a result of what happened last year with Oklahoma. I mean, their offensive line was Swiss cheese. They didn't have a run game. They didn't have any receivers. And so as a quarterback, when you're getting banged up, you don't know where to go with the football. Yeah, you start looking at the rush. To have it, he's had to try to break.
Besides that, how'd you like to play, Mrs. Lincoln? You had no O-line. You had no wide receivers. They're all hurt. You couldn't run the ball. And he turned it over twice in Oklahoma's game in Columbia against this Missouri team. Beautiful night on the Plains. Missouri leading 10-7.
It's October, so we have to ask the question, is Jordan Hare haunted? Nick Saban used that very word to describe the site of Kick 6 and Gravedigger. No, past War Eagles are not buried under the field. That's urban legend. But a lot of folks have scattered ashes here. So, watch your step and wash your hands. Just in case.
Now, hold on a second. We got Ryan McGee versus Cole Kublik here because, Cole, you told me that the Eagles were buried under the field. Ryan McGee says it's urban legend.
Listen, saying this place is haunted is really cool. I understand that. It's disrespectful to the fan base, though, to say that that's why it affects teams when they come in here and they struggle to play. The environment's created by the fans.
Here's Jamal Roberts.
Can't both be true?
Yeah, wait, and you're saying that Nick Saban would disrespect the Auburn fan base?
All I'm saying is it sounds like an excuse to me is what it sounds like, by not being prepared to handle a difficult environment, that there's some sort of voodoo or magic or
You didn't answer the question. Are the Eagles buried under the field or not?
No comment.
You've been sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
This is an Area 51 type of thing, huh?
Not a single comment for it.
I saw he had a shovel in the back of his Buick when he came down this weekend. 2nd and 8 for both Prebula and Missouri. Tigers get Vanderbilt next week. Prebula spins with a boot and it's dropped. And with Vanderbilt's dismantling of LSU today, if Missouri hangs on to win, Jordan, next week in Nashville, the winner of that Missouri-Vanderbilt game, it should Missouri win tonight. We'll have the inside track at a playoff spot.
Wild. Unbelievable what Clark Lee has done at Vanderbilt. They were a bully today, and that one could have been a bigger win than even the scoreboard showed against LSU. That's how good Vandy was today. And Missouri, a lot of work to do still against this really good Auburn defense. And another 3rd and long. That's been the story so far.
On 3rd and 8, Prebula lets it go, and it's caught on the sideline by the freshman from Chicago.
Rolling on the field, it's a completed catch.
Donovan Alubade.
Alubade had a big game last week against Alabama. 55 yards and a touchdown. It's a great job attacking leverage, getting to the sideline, both feet down. I love what he did there. He didn't bring the ball back into his chest and allow that DB to poke through and break that up. Kept it extended. That's a veteran move there by the true freshman.
Prebula lets it go down the sideline. Marquise Johnson has it batted away last second. And there's a flag down.
Offside. Defense. Number 15 in the neutral zone. The time of the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
As Keldrick Falk and Prebula wanted to take a shot.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the quarterback because you know you have a free play. You definitely don't want to overthrow the ball. That time just about a yard or two underthrown.
So 1st and 5. Prebula to throw again. Here's Hardy out of the backfield. First guy misses. Second guy stiff arm. Third guy gets him around the waist and needs a little bit of help. Ahmad Hardy is known for his run game. Regardless if it's a catch or a run, he's hard to bring down.
I mean, one of the best in the country. Arm tackle, nope, no chance. Arm tackle, no chance. Look at the legs, man. You're just not going to bring him down. You know what I love? Not just the forced missed tackles, which he's obviously the best, tied for the best with Kewan Lacey over at Ole Miss at making guys miss. I love, even with all the recognition that he's starting to get, he still plays with a massive chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he told us when we talked to him yesterday, he said, or earlier this week, here he is going through traffic again. He said, I can hear him. They're still saying he's just a Sun Belt guy. Cole, that was shocking to hear.
Absolutely, but you said it earlier in the broadcast. He had 2 offers coming out of high school. So that disrespect is ingrained in him. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. And I think he loves to punish people. It's his style. It's in his DNA. It's not going to go away.
He showed up at Monroe. He was 7th on the running back depth chart. He said, I tried to redshirt. I got a little down. I went to the B field. He was on the B field with the scout team. He said, I said to myself, I ain't never sat. Why would I sit now? And I just started punishing people. And the first time I got called up to the better field. I trucked our star linebacker. I knocked him out. The rest is history. Here's a shake by Lubade, and the freshman has his second catch of this
Safe
drive.
to say he never went back to the B field.
No.
And obviously we had ULM earlier this year. They sung his praises, just how excited they were for him, how they knew this was bound to happen when he got an opportunity at the next level. And again, he is the keystone of this offense. They want to run play action offense. They want everything to run through Ahmad Hardy.
One of the few times he didn't hit the century mark last year was when he came here to Jordan-Hare with Louisiana Monroe. Trying to work his way and find some daylight. That's a pickup of 4 on first down.
Strength coach Ryan Russell from Missouri, Tom, told me they stuck him with Anthony Favaro.
Italian Stallion.
Italian Stallion, a walk-on running back. And I said, hold on, why you put him with a walk-on? He said, we didn't know if he had a work ethic. We didn't know what he was about. Because usually the walk-ons are the guys we all know. They have a little extra heart, a little extra grit. And he said Ahmad was out working him every day. He said it did not take long for us to figure out that he's one of the hardest workers on this football team. And that's what's cool about it. And as you mentioned, not just the chip on his shoulder, but he comes in there and puts in more work than anybody else on the team. Favaro traveling for the first time this year as well.
Second down 6. Used every bit of the play clock that time, and Hardy gets stood up and takes a loss of a yard. Robert Woodyard Jr. with the stop.
Chris Murray there setting a really strong edge, forcing that run back inside. Again, it's been tough sledding for this Missouri run game. Ahmad Hardy just averaging 2.5 yards a carry. He's already rushed it 15 times, just 38 yards.
Caden Green is back at left tackle for Missouri, but he's not 100% healthy. Suffered a toe and a knee injury in the same play the Wednesday before the South Carolina game. Got the meniscus repaired, was in a boot for a couple of weeks. And now a timeout taken by Auburn.
Timeout, Missouri.
Pardon me, by Missouri before the play clock expired. Tigers have used their second of the half. Eli Drinkwitz's team looking at a 3rd and 7 after this. Dari, thanks. It's supposed to be separation Saturday in the SEC. I'm just more confused than ever. Auburn brings 4. Prabula steps up and fires, complete for a first down. It's Kevin Coleman Jr. It's a gain of 20. What guts by Prabula.
Wow, what a great job. Watch the speed rush on the outside is going to cause Prabula to step up right in the face of Keldrick Falk, number 15. Watch the change of arm angle right here to throw around him and find Kevin Coleman. That is a heck of a job.
You know, you think it's going to be clean, but they plug up the hole and he's still able to get rid of it.
Poise in the pocket.
Knocked around like Nussmeier did today. Prabula is keeping this one himself. And he picks up a few. And that'll set up second down. What do you make of both Prabulas so far this season, first year in the league?
Well, I think you're seeing a lot of raw talent. You're also seeing a quarterback that hasn't played a ton of football, situational football especially. I think that reared its head last week. But you see the playmaking ability, the ability to change arm angles, the athleticism really pops. And at times, even back to that Kansas game, he's been his best in his biggest moments. Obviously, last week was a big learning lesson for him. But
swings it out to Johnson, and he loses his footing trying to make a cut. It's a loss of a few. I thought it was interesting talking with Bo Prabula earlier this week, and he said, you know, we're still trying to find our identity in some ways, and we're still adding to the pass game, adding to the playbook. It's that time of year where you're comfortable with what you're doing. You can forget about install and get a little bit more creative in terms of what you're doing. Add to it.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out who they are when adversity hits.
Yeah.
Right? They know who they are when the run game gets going. They know they're a team that can play action off that, use Prabula's legs outside the pocket. But when that's not working, how do you be a drop back team and still make this offense go?
Well, looking at a third down now, that was a struggle in the loss against Alabama, but when Missouri's been at its best, especially that rivalry game against Kansas, they've been able to convert these types of plays.
And these are the moments that Kirby Smart, they had a big one today as well.
Congratulations.
Timeout.
I'm applauding.
This is where he gets creative with formations. You see formation to the boundary up top a bunch, then he's going to motion out of it, try to get information for his quarterback. Is it zone? Is it man? You see the cornerback follow. It's going to be man coverage across the board. This ball is going to have to come out quick.
3rd and 11. Here they come. Prabula off his back foot. It is battled for, taken away by Kayan Lee. And an Auburn interception as he ripped it from Manning.
Boy, Auburn went cover 0. I said the ball was going to have to come out quick. Prabula did a really good job of buying some time, but once again, Keldrick Falk gets in the face. Watch him right here. Great pass rush on the left side, gets in the face of Prabula, causes him to fall away from that ball, and Bo's not able to get that ball far enough outside, and a great play by Kayan Lee right here. Great hands. Look at that. Breaks on the ball right in front of Josh Manning, and oh my gosh, the concentration at the end.
First pick of the season for Lee, who had an early exit for the Georgia game due to targeting. 6 picks against 6 scores over the last 5 games for Prabula. Going back to the iPad to check it out. Opening series score for Auburn and Jackson Arnold, but they've been stuck in the mud since.
Yeah, this is kind of the chess match that's going to be happening. You saw the opening drive that was so successful. Hugh Freeze knows Corey Batoon, the defensive coordinator for Missouri, really, really well. They know what they like to do. They know what answers they have to certain pressures and coverages.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
They're on the same staff a number of years, not just here, but also Arkansas State and Liberty. It's a 2-minute timeout, a low-scoring first half in a battle of Tigers. Missouri and Auburn have each turned it over once. We've got a 3-point game. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Once again, Watson's outdressed Doring. Here's Jackson Arnold scrambling, looking for a first down, and he got smoked just shy of the marker. But this Auburn offense, kind of like against Georgia, looking much different after its opening drive was successful.
Yeah, the script of the opening drive was fantastic. Jackson Arnold used his legs to make a couple plays, and since that point, nothing through the air, not able to hit plays downfield. The run game's been stymied as well. This is a really important drive for Jackson Arnold, because remember, Hugh Freeze said he's on a short leash tonight.
He's able to connect with Cam Coleman. There's a flag in the backfield. .148 remaining.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 20. Contact to the quarterback's helmet. 15 yards to be out of 10 play. First down.
That's Nicholas Rodriguez, and it came well after the ball was released.
Yeah, just a little love tap to the side of the head. Can't do that. They like to protect the pretty faces down there.
Just unnecessary.
It really was.
Auburn's got a pair of timeouts remaining. Here comes pressure from the edge. It's tipped, and it falls incomplete.
Now, those are the plays that just frustrate you, because it's a great job by Jackson Arnold. He's going to get a fire zone pressure from that side. Two linebackers coming. What does he do? Throw right into the teeth of it, because there's open space now. Safety's a little bit slow getting down to that one. And just good job by defender getting his hand up in the window. It's a great decision by Jackson Arnold that you're not going to see pay dividends.
5 of 11 for 30 yards. Pulls it back, wants to throw, wants to go deep. Wide open, and a leaping grab made by Cam Coleman. He's inside the 15 with a pickup of 45. Tigers can still stop the clock a couple of times. No rush here. The clock stops to reset the chain. And trying to cash in and reclaim the lead. They run it this time. Jeremiah Cobb picks up 1. No timeout here. Clock rolling towards a minute when they get the next snap off. About 20 seconds elapse. Arnold steps up, still wants to throw, and it gets taken down in the backfield. Josiah Trotter of the Trotter family fame, easy for me to say, makes a play in the backfield. It's a loss of 2.
Second of the half. Please reset the game clock to 56 seconds. Thank you.
Josiah's dad, the Axeman, 4-time Pro Bowler, and his big brother won a Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Well, let's go back to that big play downfield to Cam Coleman. You're going to get an inside release, and I want you to watch right here. Watch the eyes in the backfield from Toriano Pride. He's actually in cover 2. He's seen, is anybody coming to the flats? So his job is to check the flats and then carry Coleman. So that's why Coleman was able to get that step over the top. And a great job using his hands. We saw 2 early drops from Cam Coleman, one of them on a deep route. Another easy one. That's a great response from Jackson Arnold and Cam Coleman. Coming into this game, outside of the Oklahoma game, which they targeted him downfield a couple times, only 3 targets in 5 games, 20-plus downfield. So already 2 big pass attempts downfield trying to get things going for an offense that's been struggling to get explosive plays. And now here on 3rd and long.
He was on the SEC freshman team last year. Missouri will take a timeout.
Their 3rd and final of the half.
56 seconds left in the half. Let's get it to our friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Any gate can be a tailgate.
What do you think of Jackson Arnold's performance so far tonight?
Well, I think that was a great response, right? I mentioned a couple really good decisions that maybe didn't pay off because of a tipped ball or a scramble, but the accuracy of that throw downfield is what you love to see out of Jackson, right? He didn't overthrow it, which I think at times in his career he's had an issue with.
Yep.
Overthrowing, not putting enough air on the ball. That time took some air off it, but underthrew it just enough that Coleman was able to make that play. And they have been thirsty as an offense for explosive plays through the air. And now you gotta really worry about protection on the outside. Damon Wilson, number 8 for Missouri, right there, one of the best pass rushers in the country. Will Jackson Arnold have enough time here to try to pick this up?
They're down 12.
Got a tight end to that side helping in protection.
That's Howard. Arnold steps up, goes down. And indeed, a sack for Missouri. It's Sterling Webb, second sack of the night for Mizzou. Pardon me, third.
Yeah, it was a blitz. You can see Jackson just feels the pressure. You're going to get blitzing linebackers right here, and that's going to cause Jackson Arnold's eyes to drop. He looks right at it, looks for a way out, and nowhere to escape this time.
We talked to Hugh Freeze about that yesterday in our meetings. You slide the protection to the left, and you're putting your running back on a linebacker with a 7-yard head start, but you're giving him about 8 yards of width to be able to work on it. It's a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, it's tough.
Third sack of the night for Missouri. It's 4th down. They'll let it run down to 11 seconds.
Their third and final timeout of the half. 30 seconds to leave.
In SEC games, he's been sacked 43 times. That includes that porous offensive line he played behind last year at Oklahoma.
Boy, and what Cole was mentioning, slide protection. You get offensive linemen sliding to the left to try to pick up this blitz. And you're going to have a running back right here, one-on-one with a linebacker in the hole. That'll make a quarterback's eyes drop because you just feel it. You feel the hole open up. You know you got a smaller guy on a bigger guy.
This is the first attempt of 40 yards or more for Alex McPherson. And that one starts right and stays right. He's still working his way back from health issues. The leg is not as strong as it had been previously. And so they wanted to limit his distance, and he's unable to knock that one through, his first miss of the season.
Snap good, hold good.
That brings to an end a 12-play, 61-yard drive. They waste what was a 45-yard pickup by Coleman, and that's how the season's gone for Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, and it's going to be important for Hugh Freeze in the locker room at halftime to not let that kick in this last drive deflate the confidence of Auburn, because that's what happened last week against Georgia. They had the fumble before the half. They were about to go up 17-0. They didn't. Georgia goes and scores, and that confidence just dissipated.
And he told us in our meeting yesterday, he said, I went into that locker room with the wrong energy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Eli Drinkwitz showing good energy at the end of the half. He's with Cole Kubelik.
Coach, you usually build off the stretch play. Didn't really get that going in the first half, but what did you do offensively that you can build upon in the second half?
We did a great job on third downs. We got to clean up that red zone, had a chance to really take a lead. Great job by our defense forcing the missed field goal.
Coverage, something you're going to discuss, maybe try to change a little bit in the second half?
Yeah, we got to adjust a lot of things. MIZ.
Well, Missouri has won 21 consecutive games against unranked opponents, third longest streak in the country behind Georgia and Oregon. Don't need to adjust that. Let's get you to the studio. Here's Dari.
From Rejoice to Rage, we now turn to Grammy Award-winning artist Rihanna. She released our next selection on her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, and it's become synonymous with feelings of anger and betrayal. Featuring the Auburn Dance Line, Flag Line, and Majorettes, here's Breaking Dishes. We conclude with a recent love song collaboration from stars Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Their smash hit instantly topped the Billboard Global 200. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Auburn University Marching Band. The Auburn University Marching Band is under the direction of Corey Sperlin, assisted by Nikki Gross. Director of Bands is Rick Good. Percussion is instructed by Aaron Lockler. Graduate assistants are Blaine Weddington, Jake Hiley, Catherine MacArthur, and Derek Smith. Auxiliaries are coordinated by Ashley Evans and instructed by Lauren Schmidt, Katie Glenn, and Michaela Doherty. The announcer has been Jim Jackson. Enjoy the rest of the game in War Eagle.
Tell me your comfort food. What's something you like to eat?
Comfort food? Comfort food. I say I'm a regular guy, like chicken tenders. Yeah. Fries. Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. So like, if you Thanksgiving you get to request one dish. One dish. Like this is what Ray requested. This is what Sam requested. This is what we're gonna have at Thanksgiving.
That macaroni gotta be on board.
Yeah. It is. Gotcha. Yeah.
This is my end.
Can I get to the end?
Come on.
You gotta get together. Usually that's like a package deal.
That is true. You gotta mix it up.
You put it in a package deal. They always say you gotta have my macaroni and yams. You got to. I hear that all the time.
Please direct your attention to the video board for tonight's messages presented by Publix, the proud grocery partner of the Auburn Tigers.
From a sold-out Jordan-Hare Stadium, you're watching SEC Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Missouri and Auburn in a tight one as we get ready to start the second half. 16th ranked Tigers trying to hand Auburn its 4th SEC loss in a row to start this conference play. Tom Hart, Jordan Rodgers. Jackson Arnold's been the story of the season for Auburn. Hugh Freeze said, "I'm not afraid to go to the second string." What do you do if you're Hugh Freeze?
Well, I think you like how Jackson Arnold responded, right? You had the early touchdown drive that was great, used his legs. Then the offense got stuck in the mud.
Yep.
And then it was the big play downfield to Cam Coleman. That was a really good thing to see. They haven't been able to generate explosive plays. I think maybe the leash lengthened just a little bit, right? I think this offense still needs to build off that last drive. They obviously missed a field goal after they got down into the red zone. Jackson made some good decisions, few bad decisions. Still needs to be a little more consistent, but he responded when maybe we didn't see that last week or much of the season when things got bad. It kind of just kept getting worse. So that was good to see out of this offense and out of Jackson Arnold.
Missouri deferred after winning the toss, so the Tigers will get it to start the second half. It's a fair catch. Taken at the 2-yard line. It's a show that's sweeping the nation Monday night on the SEC Network. Cole Kublik on Read and React with Roman Harper.
We talked about the stretch play that Missouri was going to come in, try to run. I talked to Hugh Freeze for the half. He said, yes, we shut it down. Now they're going to try to lock it, so we're going to have to work on that. 95-15-6 we're going to watch it, though. This starts with 6 and setting a strong edge on tight end Brett Norfleet. That's not going to give anything outside for Ahmad Hardy to hit. Then pushing this guard into the backfield immediately removes the cutback. Keldrick Falk just runs through unblocked. That's great for him, but that was set up by 2 other defenders for Ahmad Hardy not to even build any steam on the stretch.
Nice coat. Here's Bo Pribula and Missouri. And they swing it out to the youngster, and it's another catch for Olubade. Freshman from Chicago, who prepped at IMG Academy.
And that may be how this offense needs to look a little bit in the second half, is getting the ball out quickly on the perimeter, because Hardy in this offense, in the run game specifically, as Cole pointed out, has really struggled. Auburn has done a great job of setting edges, getting penetration. You see there Hardy, 15 rushes, just 38 yards, averaging only 2.5 yards per rush right now. They need to get that going, but maybe the quick passing game helps open that up.
Norfleet off to the right side, coming back to the left. There's a hole for Hardy, and he carries dudes with him all the way to the logo.
Or maybe you switch things up a little bit. You go away from zone blocking schemes a little bit. You get more into gap schemes, so you're going to crash everything down. You got 2 guys pulling around. When the zone scheme isn't working, you get a little more physical, start to create some walls here. That was a good call there by Kirby Moore to try to jumpstart this run game.
On 2nd and 3, play action. Into coverage and knocked away. Olubade, the intended receiver. Kane Lee's got a pick, and Eli Drinkwitz not happy. He's immediately working this official right in front of him.
Yeah, a lot of contact from Kalen Lee on the outside. Obviously, Kalen had the interception earlier. On that 3rd down, Eli was pleading his case. I think Kalen, before that ball arrived, got a little bit of tug on Olubade.
3rd down 3. Three-man rush. Here's Norfleet, the tight end, and he turns it upfield for the first down. Before he turned to football full-time, he was a fantastic high school pitcher with a fastball in the mid-90s. Thought that would be his pathway to the pros. 6'8", 260 in a program that has had incredible tight end play over their history, including the Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow. He's tied with Winslow and Gibbler. Missouri tight end history, the great Chase Kaufman, Albert O, Martin Rucker, top 3. Hardy changes direction. Picks up a couple. Robert Woodyard Jr. with the stop.
Boy, we just saw it on Read and React. Penetration through the C gap. Watch Amaris Williams right here. Just taking Caden Green, or actually was left guard Dominic Jodice into the backfield. And that just makes Hardy stutter his feet. He's not able to get to the edge and slows down that outside zone.
Green still trying to get healthy after he had the meniscus repaired in his knee and suffered through some turf toe at the same time, and that might limit what Missouri can do. Play clock was really late. Pribula sacked. Came right up the gut. Xavier Atkins, the transfer from LSU, with the sack for Auburn.
Boy, he goes through 2 blocks. Connor Tollison, the center, is going to try to get him first, and then Ahmad Hardy is going to come over and try to block him as well. He gets through both guys and takes down Bo Pribula. Boy, he was just so quick through the A-gap. Neither guy had a chance.
That was a mess to begin with. Tigers couldn't get set with their wide receivers. Everybody going in different directions. 3rd and long. Missouri has converted 7 of 10 third downs. This is their longest of the night, though. Play clock at 0. They just get it off again. Here comes the pressure. And wide, trying to find Kevin Coleman. Bobby Jamison, Travis in on Pribula.
Boy, you can tell the noise is really getting to this Missouri team.
First road game of the season.
Yeah, Keegan Tross there almost let the play clock run out because he was trying to get Bo's attention. Hey, what are we in? What's the snap count? What's the protection? Communication with this crowd getting into it's been tough.
Connor Wesselman on the punt it away. Malcolm Simmons back to return. 3.5 minute drive and nothing for it. Beautiful punt by Wesselman, but it carries across the goal line and will be a touchback on a 52-yarder. Jackson Arnold will have another crack at it. The Auburn defense giving him a chance, keeping the Tigers in this game with some penetration against Pribula. Take a look at our high-speed highlights brought to you by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Yeah, the emphasis coming in was getting explosive plays to Cam Coleman. He had the drop early on what would have been a touchdown. They go right back to him. Another drop. And then they started to get him going. The soft coverage led to some space at the line of scrimmage, got back on track, and then was able to take the top off with that speed and finally get one of those explosive plays downfield. He's one of the fastest wide receivers in the SEC at 6'3". He's hit 21.5 miles per hour, which is the 6th fastest of any wide receiver in the SEC. So when you give him space, he can run by anybody. Wouldn't be surprised if they take another shot here.
Arnold has completed 6 of 12 passes tonight, and he takes off and runs for this. An interesting sit down with Jackson. And I mentioned to him, listen, we had you at the end of your first year at Oklahoma in the bowl game against Arizona. We had you multiple times last year. You've been through so much. And he said, yeah, I feel like my whole career's been full of adversity. Completes this for a first down to the edge, and there's Coleman in the intermediate game. And he has just never had the opportunity after backing up Dylan Gabriel as a freshman. Then they turn the keys over to him. Just hasn't found a rhythm. And what happened at Oklahoma would have been tough for any quarterback to succeed.
Yeah, he got way too much criticism at Oklahoma. Some of it deserved, but he didn't have his top 5 wide receivers. Offensive line was a mess. Couldn't run the ball.
There's Jeremiah Cobb. It was interesting talking to him about the different coordinators he's worked with and the freedom that he's had, especially now here. Connor Lew slow to get up for Auburn. In fact, their center is still down at the 30-yard line, grasping his left leg.
Timeout on the field for a player injury.
Out of Kennesaw Mountain High School outside of Atlanta. Connor made his 25th consecutive start tonight. He took over a couple of seasons ago after an injury to Avery Jones.
Cale Ellis, the true freshman, is the backup there. Does it look like Connor Lew got a little friendly fire in the scrum? See a little high snap there, so some nerves for a true freshman coming in a spot like this. Well, you hope Connor Lew is able to get up and shake it off. He's going to get a little friendly fire from Mason Murphy, the right tackle. Connor Lew does as he's in protection, left side of your screen, right here.
Cole, how much do those knee braces help?
A lot. And it can still be scary, and it can still hyperextend just a little bit, but it really helps keep all those ligaments intact, and that's why all the guys wear them.
How much did you hate wearing them, though? As much as they help, every offensive lineman I've ever been around just complained about how terrible they were.
I was right on the front end of them. We weren't forced to wear them, but I had one because I had an ACL at one point, and even just putting one on for practices was a pain. But
I bet they smelled good at the end of camp.
Probably not great.
Ooh.
But when you saw guys take hits laterally and not have a torn ACL, torn MCL, you knew it needed to be done.
Should have invested with Don Joy. 2nd and 9. Arnold hands it off, and that turned into a huge hole for Jeremiah Cobb, who bends it to the outside. Cobb is off to the races. Finally forced out by Marvin Burks Jr. And for Cobb, it's a pickup of 42, second longest play of the night for Auburn.
Well, true freshman Cale Ellis thrust into the roll right here. Watch this block by the center. He's going to take Chris McClellan. Little double team, but stays on the block. That opens up the hole there for Jeremiah Cobb. And a big run.
It's the operation, though, too. You come in, snap on time, snap accurate, get right down the middle of that defender, force him to make a decision if he's going to come off and try to make a tackle on the back, able to slide through.
Officially a 41-yard run for Cobb. And Arnold keeps it, gets thrown down by Josiah Trotter. Throws down the X. It was fun talking with Josiah this week. We asked him about the guidance that his dad gave him, the 4-time Pro Bowler, mainly with the Eagles. And he said, yeah, we were doing stuff as a youngster that nobody else really knew what we were doing. In fact, it got so bad or good. He said when we were in Little League, there's his older brother played at Clemson and then Super Bowl with the Eagles. He said it got to the point where they wouldn't use our team name. They would say, oh, we're playing the Trotters this week. Pressure. Arnold hit as he throws and still hits his receiver. And Thompson hauls it in before it goes out of bounds. Did that in the face of pressure from Tristan Newsome coming the backside.
Yeah, really good job by Jackson Arnold to escape the pressure there. Unblocked defender.
We'll take a look at this.
The ruling on the field of a completed pass is under video review.
Gives us a chance to dial in.
Oh, it's close. Where's that left foot in relation to the sideline? As Perry Thompson goes down with it. This would be a good angle here. Toes in. Ball secure. I think that's a catch. Secured it all the way through. You know, the knee or the side of the leg didn't hit the white paint there, I think, before he secured the catch. Thompson had a drop early, I think, on the first drive. So great job there of bringing that down, it appears. But that pressure was a direct result of the respect that Auburn has for these defensive ends. They had tight ends on either side of the tackles to try to firm up the edges, and that left a blitzing linebacker the ability to come right through the A-gap. So really good job once again of Jackson Arnold using his legs.
After video review, the ruling on the field has been upheld. It's third down.
Auburn looking to reclaim the lead. The Tigers led this 7-3 early on. And now 3rd and 4, manageable for Jackson Arnold. Hugh Freeze is just 1-11 against ranked opponents over 3 seasons here. His predecessor, Brian Harsin, was 2-8 against top 25 teams. Got his lone win against a ranked opponent last year in quadruple overtime against Texas A&M. Third and 4.
And see Hugh Freeze there giving a few last-second tips to Jackson Arnold.
They empty the backfield. Now they'll populate it with Cobb. Singleton in motion. Pressure from the edge. Arnold flicks it out, incomplete. Somehow just barely got rid of it before his knee came down. Sterling Webb, St. Louis native by way of New Mexico State.
Kitchen was able to get up in the passing window. Jackson was trying the one-on-one matchup to the boundary. I thought he might work the field, a little more space with 3 receivers to the wide side. And either way, not able to get it off.
And now McPherson from 38. Remember, he missed wide right from 40. And this one off the post. Clocked it. Twice from the right side. He's missed right. Still not back 100%. A big leg in that family lineage. And another missed opportunity for the Auburn offense. Twice they've taken it into Missouri territory and missed medium range field goals. Hugh Freeze still down 3. Heavy hearts this fall around the Auburn family. Pro Bowl running back Rudy Johnson passed away on September 23rd. And Cole, this hit the Auburn family hard.
It did, Tom, mainly because you look at the details of this and it's just unfortunate. Rudy was one of the happier guys, one of the most fun guys that we had on our football team. He injected life into us on a daily basis. We went through some tough times, some hard practices, some hard workouts. I talked to Tommy Tuberville on the field about him earlier tonight, and we remembered just some of those times that we went through. We came in, we would scrimmage here in this stadium, Tom, Jordan, they would just take the periods down. We would just go until they were done. They were trying to run guys off. You didn't have the transfer portal. Tommy Tuberville wanted more talent. He was able to go get Rudy Johnson the next year. We needed that physicality. We needed somebody that we could lean on and depend on. He was that guy, but he never complained. He never complained about work ethic, about carries, about anything happening around the facility. And the coolest part was he was a superstar and he didn't act like it. He hung out with the offensive line the majority of the time. You would have never known that he was a star football player on this campus. He will absolutely be remembered, one of the best to put on an Auburn uniform.
SEC Player of the Year, ran for better than 1,500 yards in the 2000 season. Prabula escapes. He's got nothing but green in front of him. He scrambles and then cuts back and picks up a few more hard-earned yards on a gain of 26.
Well, you're going to get blitzing linebackers from the second level and man coverage behind it, which means if you don't hit home, nobody's got eyes on Bo Prabula. Sylvester Smith there jumped out of his gap and opened up that spot for Prabula to use his legs. This feels like a game because of the struggles that Missouri is still having running the football. Bo's going to have to win this with his arm.
They came in 6th in the country, averaging better than 270 yards a game tonight. Only 81 for this Missouri offense. What does that look like winning it with his arm?
And before that, 54 yards. I mean, they were really struggling. To me, it looks like getting the ball quickly out to the perimeter in space to kind of shrink this defense and then taking a shot at some point downfield.
Hardy, after the 4-yard run, comes in motion. Prabula has to leave the pocket with a stiff arm, and he fires it incomplete out of bounds. Tigers left for the 3rd and 6.
This is an area where Auburn has kind of brought the heat. 3rd downs, they haven't shied away from stacking the line of scrimmage, going man coverage, bringing pressure on Bo Prabula, forcing him to get the ball out quick. Let's see if they do that again here.
Three-man rush. Now they add a 4th. Prabula slings it out to Jamal Roberts, and he's only able to pick up a yard.
Well, they don't bring pressure, they bring simulated pressure. What does that mean? Well, it's going to look and feel like blitz to the offense, but only 4 guys are going to come. You're going to get a lot of movement this way. The line's going to move with him, and then you're going to get a looper come back free. Little green dog, which means he's waiting. If the running back stays in or releases late, he's going to come after the quarterback, and that time it was Xavier Atkins.
So Mizzou to punt it away. Plenty of hang time on this one, and a fair catch taken at the 14-yard line after a 37-yard punt. Atlanta's Connor Wessel. Jackson Arnold in the offense trying to find some traction. season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, our friends at Allstate are going to make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thanks, Allstate. First and 10. Last in the conference in second half production.
Yeah, and this has kind of been the story. Just 50 total yards in the second half last week against Georgia. When things got tough, this offense didn't respond. You've missed 2 field goals after really good drives. You stalled in the red zone. Jackson Arnold in this offense has got to be thinking, we got to score touchdowns here to win this.
5:33 to go, third quarter. High snap with the backup in and a sling out to Singleton, and he picks up a first down. He got dropped by Jalen Cadlon. Cole, what did Hugh Freeze say at half about the second half production?
I asked him just what you guys are referencing. How do you avoid what has happened the last couple of games in the second half? He said, I love where the offense is. He said, we do need to intentionally stay aggressive and allow some of these positive plays and potential explosive plays to continue to happen. But he said he likes where they were. Receivers need to catch the football, and did point out Jackson Arnold sort of taking those outlet throws when the coverage is soft. Wants to see him continue to do that as well.
Jeremiah Cobb will have to come out for a play.
The previous throw from Jackson Arnold, that's the first RPO we've seen tonight. Run pass option, period. This is an offense that's kind of built on that, and it's been a very different game plan. Haven't seen Arnold ride that running back and then throw it.
Go with a sweep for Malcolm Simmons, and he's able to move the chain.
It's one of the reasons that Hugh Freeze went and got Jackson Arnold. This is the type of offense, up-tempo, RPO-based, that Jackson has ran since high school.
He's had to deal with consecutive high snaps from Cale Ellis, the freshman. Second string center in the game now. That one was on target. And here's a carry for Justin Jones, senior from Bessemer, transferred from UAB. That means Jeremiah Cobb returns to the field for Auburn. Great visit for Jeremiah yesterday. Said, I grew up not just an Alabama fan, I grew up a huge Alabama fan out of Montgomery Catholic High School. Turn to the backfield next to Arnold. Arnold steps up. Everybody's covered, so he'll try to tuck it. And he took a shot late. That is Nicholas Rodriguez, who put a hit on Arnold earlier this game with a shot to the head. And again, a poor decision for the sophomore from Miami. It'll be the second personal foul penalty that Rodriguez picks up.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 20. 15 yards to be out to the play. First down.
Once again, Jackson escaping the pocket, using his legs. You just can't happen. I mean, he's 2 steps out of bounds. No reason to be that careless.
Just has the will to win. Playing a little hard, a little extra. Here comes pressure up the middle. Arnold gets rid of it, but falls incomplete. It's Singleton in the flat. It's an overall a sluggish game for both offenses. Auburn has outgained Missouri tonight, 224 to 207. Here comes pressure again. They're really trying to heat up Arnold. He gets rid of it to Perry Thompson.
Boy, again, a great decision in the face of pressure from Jackson Arnold. I noted this earlier when Missouri brought a blitz. He threw hot on it. It got knocked down. That time changed his arm angle to actually throw around the blitzer. Another great decision from 11.
Auburn 3 of 8 on third down. Tigers only bring 4 this time. And he finds a soft spot in his own for the conversion to Cam Coleman.
I mean, Jordan, how much of that's been the issue is not making teams pay. He hasn't thrown teams out of that. You're going to bring extra bodies. You're going to dedicate yourself to the rush. You have to make teams pay. And Jackson Arnold doing it tonight. Previously, didn't feel like he could let go of that football.
Yeah, and I love this last play from Jackson Arnold, working through 2 or 3 reads, not panicking, not watching the rush. Worked from the right side all the way back left to pick up that first down.
9th play of the drive. Here comes Cobb. They hand it to him, and he's got the edge. And a beautiful block. Cobb takes it inside the 10, down to the 5. Perry Thompson sealed the edge and opened a huge door for Jeremiah Cobb.
And it's a great block by the 6'3", 220-pound Perry Thompson. Little jet sweep. You see Cobb breathing heavy. Top of your screen right there. Perry does a good job of forcing that defender to go inside. And remember, no Damari Alston, so Jeremiah Cobb is getting a lion's share of the reps at running back. You saw him breathing hard after that long run.
10th play of the drive. QB run. Arnold pushing. Made it up to the 3.
Seen a lot of what had success against Georgia last week. Misdirection with movement. So pullers or jet sweeps going opposite of what the misdirection will be. So you show flow one way, get a little quarterback counter going the opposite direction, or you show counter or power one direction, give it to the jet sweep the opposite way. Playing with the eyes of that defense, something they had a lot of success with early against Georgia last week, not as much late in the game.
2nd and goal. Remember, he's working behind a freshman center and now under center. Omar Mabson in the backfield. Fake to him, roll out. Arnold tries to cut back, and he stumbles towards the goal line, but just short. And Auburn will be left with 3rd and 1. They're going no huddle, trying to hurry up. Heavy on the run this drive. 12th play of the possession for Auburn. High snap. Hand off, and he's in. It's Omar Mabson, and a freshman with his first touchdown of his career to give Auburn the lead. Went to high school just down the road. At Auburn High School, a long line of great players have come out of that program. And he catches in a 12-play, 86-yard drive. Hugh Freeze wanted to get him in this game. He said he's been itching to play. He's hungry. And he relishes the opportunity he's going to get.
When it started with that big 3rd down conversion, Jackson Arnold doing a great job of working through 3 different reads here, starting to his right, not panicking, not watching the rush, working backside, finding the soft spot in the zone to Cam Coleman to pick up the first down, continue the drive, and then Jeremiah Cobb finishing it off. Remember, Auburn had gotten down inside the red zone twice in their last handful of drives, missed 2 field goals. You felt like they really needed a touchdown there, needed that drive, and they got it.
130 yards and 8 first downs in the 3rd quarter for this Auburn offense. Both of their scoring drives were aided by 15-yard penalties, a defensive pass interference in the opening drive, and a late hit on this go-ahead drive.
I'm not even sure they have had 100 yards in a second half of any of their last 3 games. It has been tough sledding for this Auburn team, but a great response.
Well, they only scored 10 points in the loss against Texas A&M. They didn't convert a 3rd down in that game against an incredible Aggies defense, which, by the way, had its hands full with Arkansas today. So you try to figure it out.
They end up winning that one?
They did by a field goal. It's been hard for the Omaha, Mississippi native Ahmad Hardy to try and get things on track. Came in the 2nd leading rusher in the country.
Yeah, and they've tried to get the run game going, but the defensive line, Keldrick, Falk, and A handful of others playing really, really well up front for Auburn. Vertical penetration. Missouri hasn't been able to get that outside zone going to the edge. And when that doesn't happen, this offense really struggles, as we saw last week with Alabama.
Came in averaging 130 yards a game. He's got 104 total over his last 7 quarters. It is loud. Hardy can't find daylight. Keldrick Falk once again, the junior from Highland Home, Alabama, making his 27th consecutive start tonight.
Boy, this group for DJ Durkin is just relentless. The effort that they're playing with in the trenches has been something special tonight, led by Keldrick Falk.
Tigers might just let the clock roll into the 4th quarter. Beulah wasn't quite aware. And the officials in this crowd will make him aware. They finally have something to cheer about here on the Plains. Auburn takes a lead into the 4th quarter in this matchup of Tigers. Missouri with the ball, looking at a 2nd and 10 when we return. Quite a scene at Jordan-Hare. They're swagging towards the 4th quarter. It's a 4-point Auburn lead. Moments ago, Cole Kublik with Eli Drinkwitz.
Coach Drinkwitz, you told us you wanted to remove this crowd early in this game. As we head to the fourth quarter, you try to rally to win. How do you keep them out of it?
Yeah, we just got to execute right here on both sides of the ball. We're giving them free yards on penalties and offensively self-inflicted wounds. We got to get it going right here.
Thanks, Coach.
MIC.
Good luck taking this crowd out of it. Second and 10 for both Prabula and Missouri. Pocket holds in a great way, but Prabula doesn't pull the trigger. It's the first road trip of the season for Missouri. Eli Drinkwitz and his staff tried to get the team ready for this back in August. They had a 2-hour road trip to Lindenwood College outside of St. Louis to run through the particulars of being on the road. You can't plan for a sellout in 88,000 though. And going to review will quiet the crowd.
Hey, Drink was looking for answers for the crowd. He just got one.
Yeah, it's maybe one time you appreciate that review. Quiet things down. Manny does a great job of coming back to the ball here after he sees, oh, he did step out of bounds after he sees Prabula scramble there.
He went out of bounds on his own volition, and then I think the other thing is, was his foot in bounds when he caught it.
Yeah, when he went down for that ball.
We got a thriller going on in Lexington tonight. Texas and Kentucky are tied at 10 with a minute to play there on ESPN. How about that?
I swear, Kentucky, just one game a year, they show up that you just didn't even think they'd be able to. There's a good shot of Manning running out of bounds there, and then watch his feet, right foot as he, where's that right foot? Tough to tell on that shot.
You can't review whether or not he went, or probably you can review.
Oh, you can?
Yes. That he went out of bounds, not being forced, and was the first one to touch it coming back. So
I figured that this was taking so long that you couldn't review that aspect. Eli's not happy about something as he's pointing up at the replay. And it's a difference of about 3 yards or so.
After video review, the receiver's right foot went out of bounds and never reestablished back in bounds. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. Third down at the 25-yard line.
Get the crowd back into it.
They're down 10.
Going to be tough to sort out protection. Who's coming, who's not.
Here's the blitz. It is incomplete. Sylvester Smith came flying through.
I hate this. You got offensive linemen sliding in this direction, and you don't block the guy coming right down the A-gap. As a quarterback, block that guy. Let me buy time for the guy coming off the edge.
DJ Durkin's done that multiple times tonight, Jordan. He's trying to force the slide one direction or the other because he knows he can create that space in one of those gaps.
And you do that by overloading that side?
Absolutely. He overloaded both sides technically.
That's where, as a quarterback, if you have the opportunity and it's not too loud, you tell your offensive lineman to protect that guy, and I'll worry about the guy off the edge.
Great punt and coverage of 51-yard punt. Let's get you to the studio. 14:23 to play in the fourth quarter. And the ball back in the hands of the Auburn Tigers with the lead. Here's Cobb and a huge hole. Cole, he may have grown up an Alabama fan, but he looks right at home in an Auburn uniform on a gain of 23 that matches his jersey number.
Well, and it's looking more like home for Auburn fans, too. Have questioned for the last 5 or 6 weeks, where's the run game been in the fourth quarter? An excellent cut. Solid job getting hat on a hat by the offensive line up front. Cobb making up a lot of those yards on his own with that big jump cut early.
He was almost apologetic when we talked to him yesterday about growing up idolizing some of those Alabama running backs. Arnold goes deep down the sideline. Beautiful over-the-shoulder catch made by Cam Coleman. What a start to this fourth quarter for Auburn. It's a 30-yard strike.
What a dime from Jackson Arnold. Boy, it was a run-pass option from Jackson Arnold, a called run play. They added an 8th man to the box. He had the one-on-one matchup. Love the aggressive nature. Love the accurate throw.
Whoa, they get it out to Singleton. Coleman turned into a blocker that time.
Got just enough of him. Almost dangerous on that one, Tommy.
There's Stephen Hall. It could have taken it the other way for 6. 2nd and 2. Well, the concern and the question, could Auburn get the offense going in the second half? It's been MIA over the last couple of weeks, and Arnold 7 of 9 through the air after halftime.
And sometimes allowing your quarterback to have that extra freedom and decision has bitten this Auburn team. It did last year with Peyton Thorne. It has at times with Jackson Arnold being indecisive in the run-pass option game. That time decisive and accurate with the strike downfield.
After that run, a 1st and goal from the 6. Arnold taken down by Josiah Trotter.
A little miscommunication that time. I think Arnold was expecting Cam Coleman on a slant route. Coleman went to the corner. Arnold did the right thing by tucking it and getting north and south. Or I guess north. Just one direction.
That compass you carry around is coming in handy.
You noticed that.
2nd and goal. There's a QB draw, and he powers his way down inside the 1, and they'll have 3rd and goal inside the 1. You know, last week against Georgia, they went with the tush push. He tried to leap, and Auburn fans are going to be seeing that in their nightmares for years. Operate out of the shotgun here, needing 1 yard for a 2-score lead. And they swallow up the running back Cobb. It's Marquise Gracial, junior from St. Louis, who's had a heck of a story to get to where he is just in life, let alone the football field, and it forces a 4th down and a field goal attempt.
High snap, and Gracial comes right through the A-gap unblocked. Just a miscommunication or a missed assignment up front for this offensive line. Arnold did a great job reeling in that high snap, and McPherson with another opportunity here. He's missed 2.
Yeah, this is a chip shot now from 22. We got a big ovation in the pregame introductions, and now he gets the same after converting for the first time in 3 tries. Auburn leads by 7. Welcome back to SEC Saturday Night, presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. It's only a 7-point lead for Auburn. Missed opportunities in the red zone, or in plus territory at least. They've missed 2 field goals and then had to settle for a third. The ball inside the 5. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik. Missouri's trying to bounce back from its first loss of the season, and Auburn is looking to avoid an 0-4 start in conference play for the 3rd consecutive season. It had only happened twice in the 70 seasons prior of Auburn football. No return for Missouri. 10:31 left in regulation in this one. Bo Pribula, 13 of 22 for 122. Not much help from the run game. Ahmad Hardy has been held to 52 yards on 20 carries.
Yeah, Ahmad Hardy came into this game averaging 6.8 yards per rush. Just 2.6 tonight. So, again, this feels like it's a Bo Pribula drive. And I love Kirby Moore to get him out of the pocket early. Use his feet and athleticism, see if he can't get this drive started.
Trying to throw it back against the grain, and nobody was there. Malik blocked and ended up in Bo Pribula's face.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area. 2nd down.
Missouri's leading receiver tonight is Kevin Coleman Jr. He has 2 catches for 35 yards.
Yeah, but he had 1 catch on, I think, that first drive, one of the first plays of the game, and only 1 since. Kirby Moore's got to find a way to move him around and get him a touch here early in this drive.
Looking at a slant that's complete to Joshua Manning. It's a 1st down for Mizzou.
Needed that. That first down always kind of calms the crowd down, calms the nerves down.
Marquise Johnson, the lone receiver on the right side. And now Northfleet joins him. Pribula looking left, now over the middle, and lets it go into coverage, and it's caught by Joshua Manning. Somehow Bo Pribula gambles by threading the needle, and it pays off in a 20-yard gain.
Boy, actually missed the read. It's tight coverage. Atkins fools him here. The ball should have gone over the middle. The ball should have gone over the middle here to Coleman. Watch him come wide open between the hashes. Pribula doesn't see him. Got away with one there.
Great penetration, and Hardy thrown down for a loss of 4 by Amaris Williams.
Boy, this is what you call crashing the mesh. The offense wants you to slow play this and get caught in between. Amaris is going to come right here and go, hey, I don't care what you do. I'm going to hit somebody. Goes right after Ahmad Hardy because they have somebody for the quarterback.
That Auburn defensive line has been wreaking havoc tonight.
Timeout, Auburn.
Auburn uses a timeout. The Tigers were a man short. Only had 10 on the field for the 2nd and 14. Try to get that right. Back in a moment.
SEC Saturday Night is presented by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet.
Did you get your lemonade when you came to town today? Your Tumors lemonade?
No, I didn't get none.
Still time. Kind of quiet up there at the moment. Came in explosive offense, averaging 42 points a game, only 10 tonight. And the yardage production is not there for this Missouri offense.
Keep an eye on Kevin Coleman right here in the slot.
Prabula steps up, muddied pocket, and he escapes on the run wide for Marquise Johnson. 3rd and 14.
Boy, coverage has just been great on the back end. Pocket condensed on that one. Nowhere to go with the football. DJ Durkin has been in his bag tonight. Mixing the pressures with the coverage.
See if he tries to force a slide protection again here.
Play clock at 4. They bring 5. Prabula to Norfleet. Incomplete. And Missouri will punt it away. Tigers have 4 timeouts left, trailing by a touchdown as we approach the midway part of the 4th quarter. Malcolm Simmons to return, standing at his 10. Three of Missouri's 4 second-half possessions crossed midfield, and the result 0 points. Meanwhile, second half for Auburn. The offense got it going behind Jeremiah Cobb.
Yeah, the run game really opened up in the second half. Did it between the tackles. Cobb with a great job bouncing that one to the outside, using the speed down the sideline. Then the physicality at the goal line to punch that one in. This was the play of the game for me, though. The field goal sets this up to be a 7-point game, but the RPO decision there, we haven't seen a ton of those in this game, but the confidence that Jackson Arnold had in his ability to hit it downfield in one-on-one coverage when it was a called run play. Haven't seen too many confident decisions like that from Jackson so far this year.
Well, even going back to last year,
yeah,
right?
No doubt.
Like a Tom Cruise movie. Every story, crisis of confidence. Got to run it. Nothing doing. We even talked about that with Ricky Stenhouse yesterday. He said it's kind of like Days of Thunder. Need Nicole Kidman to come save the day. This guy was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, threw 3 picks his first start at Oklahoma after Dylan Gabriel had already transferred, and then never found the traction.
And this may be a game that sends this Auburn team in a different trajectory, right? Fork in the road right here after losing 3 straight. This drive right here is massive.
Somehow got rid of that to Eric Singleton. Third and manageable. Hugh Freeze was ready to pull the plug on Jackson Arnold. And I'm not sure Jackson, although he probably felt the pressure performing up to the standards of this Auburn offense, I'm not sure he was aware how close he was to spending a couple of series on the sidelines. Play clock now at 3. Arnold steps up, but it's taken down. Zion Young with his first sack of the night, 4th for Missouri.
Boy, watch Zion Young. There's nothing pretty about this pass rush. It is just want to. He's going to have an inside pass rush. He's going to work through both right tackle Mason Murphy and Jeremiah Wright. Wright engaged there with Chris McClellan, and Zion Young One of the guys I started this game saying he needed to have an impact.
Mizzou forces a 3-and-out. Kevin Coleman Jr. races up to take this one at the 38 and gets tripped up immediately. Fantastic coverage by Reed Hughes, the long snapper. After a 40-yard punt, Hughes will ride it to the sideline. Auburn looking for some momentum. Missouri trying to answer. We got a touchdown game. Fresh set of downs for Bo Prabula, and off the hands of Kevin Coleman Jr. would have been a first down and more. Missouri has been an elite second half team and a great comeback team as well. They came back 3 times in their win against rival Kansas earlier this season. In fact, since Eli Drinkwitz became the head coach in 2020, Mizzou has 13 wins when trailing in the 4th quarter. That's the most in the FBS.
And they're going to need Kevin Coleman to get going. No receptions in the second half for their best receiver, and just about a yard too far on that last one.
Pressure. They send the house. Prabula goes deep, hand fighting, and there's the flag. Marquise Johnson, the intended receiver. Jake Crawford was in his pockets, and that'll be an automatic first down.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
There's also a flag in the backfield. May have a roughing the passer against Auburn. We'll wait and see. Either that or holding. But Kieron Crawford was talking with the officials after he saw the marker down in the backfield. A long discussion. The center judge, a referee, and the head linesman.
Whose flag is it? Nope, not mine. Oh, it's yours. There you go. Who's missing a flag?
Correction, there were actually 2 fouls, both by the defense. Pass interference, defense, number 23. That 15-yard penalty, first down. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 24. That's an additional 15 yards, first down.
I'm not sure what Drink is so upset about. Since it was after the play, they were both assessed. Unless he wanted an ejection.
I think he was trying to say he was punchy. Something happened here with Kieron Crawford.
Center judge couldn't get the flag up.
Yeah, him and Caden Green got mixed up.
Got Matumbo'd.
Auburn has been a heavily penalized team over the course of the season. Now clinging to a touchdown lead in the 4th quarter. Prabula with the pump fake. Now he's got to scramble, and did he get out of the pocket?
There is no foul for offensive grounding. The passer was out of the tackle box.
Robert Woodyard Jr. ended up in Prabula's pocket. Jeez.
Wow. Look at the pressure. Stacking guys at the line of scrimmage. And you're getting the big loop here from Keldrick Falk inside. It's picked up pretty well, but you can tell just all the movement really sped things up for Bo Prabula. Wasn't able to hang in there.
Great effort by Jamal Roberts, running back right there, too.
Yeah. They bring 5 again. Back to the slant again. It's been a good blitz beater, and Alubage takes it down the sideline, and the freshman will set up Missouri with a 1st and goal. Donovan Alubage with a gain of 27.
Wow. Feed this young man. Alubage had a big game last week against Alabama. 55 yards and a touchdown. This is a great heads-up play. He can feel the defender, Crawford, coming over the top. Spins out of it. And wow. The penalties were huge there.
Yep. Giving
Missouri 30 yards on the pass interference and the personal foul after the play had ended, and then a big play from Alubage, and Missouri right back in it inside the 5-yard line.
Caleb Harris is the injured Auburn Tiger. Sophomore from Bessemer helped to his feet. Sixth matchup all time between Auburn and Missouri. Auburn won the lone game here a couple of years ago when Missouri missed a chip shot field goal and then fumbled in overtime. The Tigers came from behind Brady Cook, returning from the hospital last year to pick up the win. Here's Bo Prabula trying to run it. Lost his helmet, it got ripped off. And this will be an interesting decision as Prabula has to come out for a play. Matt Zollers is the second-string quarterback. They also have Kevin Coleman available to run some Wildcat. And here's Zollers, freshman from Pennsylvania, who's appeared in a handful of games this season.
Yeah, you don't want to waste a timeout there. Being down 7, you may need those. If you're not able to punch this in, but in a critical moment, now you get a true freshman quarterback in there. Get the snap clean, get the ball out of your hands. This one's going to 29 all day.
Ahmad Hardy to the right side, and he reaches for the goal line and lost it. Looked like Auburn recovered, but it's ruled a touchdown as the ball broke the play. The line judge was all over it. Hardy reaching for it, if it indeed broke the play, and then the play is dead as soon as that occurs.
Here's a great look at the goal line. Hardy does a great job of making Atkins miss right there with the jump cut. When did that knee go down? It's a touchdown.
So that'll cap a 5-play, 60-yard drive. Missouri needed just 69 seconds to get there. And Auburn fans have seen enough of slow-mo replays on the goal line the last 2 weeks.
Boy.
30 of those 60 yards came via penalty on that drive.
Not quite a full moon tonight, but it's getting a little weird here late in the fourth quarter.
I heard this place is haunted. That was a dynamite play by you. Point after is good by Robert Meyer, and we are tied at 17. Ahmad Hardy is everything but a belt.
Yeah, the numbers aren't huge for Ahmad Hardy tonight, but that move right there, making a linebacker unblocked miss in the backfield, punching that one in. The answer Missouri needed.
But what a day in the SEC. It was a chaotic start to the day. LSU and Vanderbilt was big play after big play. The test effect was real in that one. Diego Pavia struck a Heisman pose. Alabama got a 99-yard pick six right before the end of the half to take control against Tennessee. That's a 17-point game with under 5 minutes to play up in Tuscaloosa.
Texas, Kentucky into overtime?
Leading into that, Dari's going to tell you all about it in just a minute. Florida held on against Mississippi State for the win today. Pleasant to receive. And he wants to bring it out after a pause. Rashad Pleasant looking for the edge. Got out over his skis and takes it out to the 20. Dari, what happened in the Bluegrass tonight?
First is an Auburn from the 21.
Pressure's on Mark Stoops. He went for it on 4th and goal on the first possession of overtime.
Boy, what's even more disappointing, though, they had a big long play by Kendrick Law to get him inside the 5 with a fresh set of downs and couldn't punch it in there in overtime.
A counter look for Auburn and nothing for Jeremiah Cobb. And once again, Cole, Marquise Gracial in on the play, the junior from St. Louis.
Well, this young man has been through so much. Such an impressive run that he's been on as a player the last few weeks, but went through a lot of issues with his mom growing up. Moved in with his grandmother, Bernita Polk. He and his high school coach, Bob Leonard, took him in. He had lived in buildings, cars, vacant buildings, cars. He had been in shelters. Young man went through a lot. And I'll tell you a little bit more about his high school career after this play.
Jackson Arnold had it tipped and incomplete.
Coach Bob Leonard told me today it is an absolute miracle that this young man is #1 enrolled at Missouri and #2 playing SEC football based on the things that he went through. And I don't want to go through all the details of it, but he went on a mission trip to Jamaica this past summer, and Eli Drinkwitz asked him to share what he took from that with the team. He said he was an angry young man, not a guy that was happy a lot of the time, and it changed his life. And he told his grandmother that it changed his life too. He has an appreciation for what playing college football is now, for being a student at Missouri and everything that comes with it, and said those experiences of seeing how those people live changed his attitude on life.
Arnold on the run. Perfect placement. He lobs it into Perry Thompson, who crosses midfield for the Auburn first down, 34-yard gain.
This was a broken play from the start. Watch Jeremiah Cobb kind of hesitate here. Jackson Arnold's going to stick the ball out. It's supposed to be a play action, but the hesitation kind of spooks Arnold a little bit. He just throws it up, and Missouri misplays it in the secondary. What?
Yeah.
I mean, that looked funky from the start, but
Toriano Pride bid on that the second time he's been burned on a big play for Auburn. Deep down the sideline and overthrown. Cam Coleman blanketed by Dre Norwood. Hugh Freeze saw pass interference. He is furious.
There's a lot of contact there. Partially initiated by Cam too, though.
Remember, Missouri got the benefit of a pass interference on its scoring drive.
Yeah, I don't think Hugh liked that one.
Almost lost his play sheet. On 2nd and 10, here's Cobb. Khalil Jacobs with the stop. Well, this Auburn fan base went through the ringer last week. You can tell there's a little bit of animosity in their feelings. Hugh Freeze telling us he didn't think he handled it entirely properly last week.
I was actually with Hugh Freeze, really impressed, Tom, with him telling us that he probably took a little bit into the locker room last week and let it affect his team, allowed it to affect his team in the second half. But it's not just last week. This fan base has dealt with that for the last 3-4 weeks. It's one of those things that it's hard to discuss. It's hard to talk about because it's a part of the game. But this fan base, no doubt, has seen that part of football mount against them for about a month.
And the call at Oklahoma, it gave the Sooners a touchdown when it should have been a penalty in a game that was decided by a touchdown. Drop. Preston Howard leaves 4th and 9 in a tie game with 3:05 to play. Arnold's receivers haven't done him many favors tonight. There's a flag on the far side. They'll pick it up.
Holding, excuse me. 4th down.
This is a great play design. I love it. The potential hold is going to be on the right side of the screen on Eric Singleton. Pick that up.
Hudson Cock will punt it away. Kevin Coleman Jr. waits. Fair catch. Missouri will have a long field in front of it after that 36-yard punt. Under 3 minutes to play. And the Bluebirds continue to rain down. All right. So if you're Missouri trying to pull off another second-half comeback, offensive coordinator Kirby Moore, what do you draw from Bo Prabula when you've really struggled to establish the running game?
Yeah, he's struggled pushing the ball downfield tonight. Struggled with it last week against Alabama. What he's been good at is the quick game. You got plenty of time. 3 timeouts, just under 3 minutes. You don't have to feel like you're in a 2-minute situation where you're got this false sense of urgency. You can still get the run game going. Get the ball into Bo Prabula's hands quickly, though, because this Auburn defensive front has been spectacular, and there's been a ton of pressure on Bo tonight.
See if they bring it. They play the run, and they play it perfectly. Ahmad Hardy thrown down at the line. Robert Woodyard Jr. and Zeke Walker were there.
That's not what you want on first down. I mean, this defensive front has been so impressive all night. Still just 85 rushing yards for this Mizzou team. Only 52 for Ahmad Hardy.
That's clinic tape from Zeke Walker right there. Strike and shed using his hands.
Auburn has held 4 of its 6 opponents on 100 yards rushing, and so far tonight, Missouri limited to 85. Pressure. Prabula is able to find Manning on the crossing route, and he turns it upfield for the first down. So now they got it going against Kansas with the mesh route, and it's a pickup of 12.
And I love the call there. You know you're going to get some kind of man coverage here. Little mesh route. Get some DBs trying to navigate traffic, and you're able to get Joshua Manning wide open.
Like trying to work your way through Skybar last night.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Shoulder to shoulder, man to man. And here we go. 2-minute timeout at Jordan-Hare Stadium. The Tigers are locked 17 apiece from Missouri and Auburn. we're deadlocked at 17. Missouri over the last 2 years has been fantastic in close games, 10-2 in one-score games. They came from behind to knock off Auburn last year. That was the game where Brady Cook went to the hospital just up the street, turned around, came back, and led him to the comeback. Three-man rush. Prabula trying to step up. That closed quickly. Once again, nothing doing on first down. Keldrick Falk and Robert Woodyard Jr. there.
Yeah, it's a design quarterback draw. Robert Woodyard did a great job of avoiding the block of Ahmad Hardy and bringing down Bo Prabula.
Second and 10. Beautiful route by Kevin Coleman Jr. The St. Louis native picks up the first down. A lot of stickers on his suitcase. He started at Jackson State playing for Deion Sanders with Travis Hunter. Sanders brothers, I should say. Then went on to Louisville, Mississippi State, now Mizzou. They bring four. Prabula steps up and once again gets tripped up. He was a stride away from turning that into a positive game, but in the end only gains one. Sylvester Smith, the tackle. And Missouri uses the timeout. 1:04 to play.
Missouri,
Regulation.
Their first of the half. Please reset the game clock to 1:06. 30 seconds in length.
This was a 10-7 game at half for Missouri, and then Auburn in the third quarter was able to get on the board. They really leaned on their running game, and this deep pass to Coleman led to a field goal. And Auburn was able to build the lead, but they had to settle for that field goal on a drive that stalled inside the 5, and then Ahmad Hardy with the reach for the goal line to tie it up.
Yeah, and I like the timeout right here. This second down is crucial. Right, a field goal wins this. 2 timeouts is plenty to keep in your back pocket, but these next 2 plays so important. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've talked about both of them on the sideline right there. If we get 4 or 5 yards here, here's what we're coming to.
It feels like Bo Prabula has done a good job identifying whether Auburn is in man or zone. How does formation and movement help him identify?
Yeah, and one way is you come out empty, because that forces the defense to kind of show their hand. They're not able to disguise much. That gives a lot of information to Bo Prabula. I think they're going to motion the running back Ahmad Hardy back in here.
They'll shift Coleman as well on the outside behind Alubade.
They'll leave him out there.
Here comes pressure from the edge. They pick it up. Prabula over the middle. Caught for a Missouri first down by Donovan Alubade.
A great job in protection. Right guard Curtis Piegler picks up the secondary pressure, and I love that Bo Prabula didn't panic there. He stayed in the pocket, didn't leave early, came back down the middle, delivered a strike.
Huge game for the freshman Alubade. Prabula flicks it out to Jamal Roberts. A stiff arm for a first down and into Auburn territory. Bill, what are you feeling and seeing on the Auburn sideline?
Deflated. I think since it happened with the officials a little bit earlier, that pass interference call, it just feels like that sideline's been a little bit flat. Not a lot of energy right now. I felt like the timeout they took a little bit earlier on defense was probably a great one because you needed to inject a little bit of life and they needed a blow.
Prabula 4 for 4 on this drive. 47 seconds remaining. Norfleet helping direct traffic. Play clock is at 5. Pressure again to the slant again. Caught by Marquise Johnson right at the marker. And there's a flag after the fact. Kay and Lee had the coverage.
There is no foul for a personal foul. Result of play is first down.
Watch the throw by Bo Pribula. He's got 2 free runners in his face. He's going to change his arm angle a little bit, but delivers a strike on the back hip. Great catch by Marquise Johnson.
Clock ticking, 35 seconds left in regulation. Roberts flips to the left side. Pribula under pressure again, and he's taken down. Kieran Crawford with the sack for Auburn.
That's what you couldn't do.
Timeout, Mizzou.
Second of the half. 30 seconds to leave.
This is what you can't do if you're Pribula. The ball's got to come out quick. You got to know where you're at on the field. They're about at the 30-yard line, which is in good field goal range. Or okay, you'd want to pick up a little bit more. I'm surprised they didn't use a timeout before that to kind of talk through where we're at in the field. You got a quarterback again that has not had a ton of time in situational football. First-year starter against a really good defense that's been all over him tonight.
Robert Meyer, their kicker, has a long of 40 this year.
Yeah, now you're at the 32-yard line, which means that's a 49, 50-yard field goal.
Looks like they might use Oliver Robbins, who's their kickoff specialist. Presumably the stronger leg, but Meyer's still getting loose.
Yeah, you'd love to pick up at least 5 more yards here before a field goal attempt. Do have that one timeout. Auburn going man coverage, bringing pressure. Watch Pribula's legs here.
2nd and 17, quick to the outside and incomplete. And if that's a backwards pass, and it is, it's marked out at the 43-yard line.
Rolling on the field is a backwards pass.
That leaves you with a 60-yard field goal. 24 seconds left. 3rd and long.
Boy, no laces there. You got to get it out as quick as possible.
And they're going backwards.
False start. Offense on the 20. 5-yard penalty. Remains slowed down.
Maybe it is haunted.
One-on-one coverage at the bottom of your screen. Marquise Johnson with a ton of field. There's nobody helping. Jay Crawford over the top.
They bring the house again. Lobs downfield for Johnson. Contact. And Auburn thinks they picked it off. Field judge hasn't signaled. It's Jay Crawford who comes out with the football. And Auburn's going to get a takeaway with 18 seconds left. Absolute mayhem at Jordan-Hare.
Wow. Just an unbelievable play by Jay Crawford.
It was an interception. First down, Auburn.
He was on an absolute island. No help over the top. Nobody within 20 yards of him.
It's the second time those two have been going mano-a-mano.
Yeah.
Crawford wins this battle with the pick, but it is a long field now for Auburn.
How much do you trust Jackson Arnold? You got 2 timeouts. It's really not a lot of time. You'd need 2 chunk plays to try to get in.
Yeah, you've got a kicker that doesn't have the strength to go past 40.
And you're too far from it.
So Jackson Arnold will send us to overtime.
We got bonus football.
Second overtime game in the conference today. This is a desperate Auburn program. 0-3 in league play. And the average differential just over 7 points per game. Mizzou 17, Auburn 17. Free football right around the corner here at Auburn.
Overtime, presented by Cheez-It.
It's crunch time. In the first overtime, each team gets a possession starting at the opponent's 25-yard line. If it goes to a second overtime, teams again start at the 25-yard line, but must attempt a 2-point conversion after a touchdown with no extra points allowed. From the third overtime on, teams alternate 2-point conversion attempts from the 3-yard line until the game is decided.
Free football. What a thriller here, the loveliest village on the plains, and it's been the loudest tonight. Auburn decided to take a knee after they got the ball back on the interception. Missouri and Auburn playing their second overtime game in as many contests here at Jordan-Hare. Missouri came here a few years ago and had a disastrous end-of-game sequence. Not too dissimilar from what just happened on that last possession when they were in field goal range. I think you all know each other. The new acquaintances after going at it.
Gentlemen, we will now enter an extra period. Missouri, you get a choice here of offense. Excuse me. We're going to flip the coin, guys. Same coin we flipped earlier. Okay, ball placed on the 25-yard line with an opportunity to score. Each team gets one timeout. Understand? Yes, sir. Okay. Missouri, you're the visiting team. What's your call? Heads. Heads has been called. It is heads. You won the coin toss. Offense, defense, or the end of the field? Defense. You want to select defense. Okay. Auburn, what end of the field do you want to go to? It's in the field. So you'll be on offense first. Swing around from this way, Auburn. Missouri, over here.
Zion Young had you curious. It's 10:23 Central. And Missouri, after winning the toss, try and do better than they did in 22 when they came down here for the first time. September 24th to 22, Harrison Mevis missed a chip shot field goal at the end of regulation. And then after Anders Carlson got a second chance at a 39-yarder to give Missouri the lead, Tigers, Nathan Peete fumbled what would have been the game-winning touchdown, and Caden Briggs recovered in the end zone to seal it. Missouri has won its last 21 against unranked opponents, and Auburn's trying to avoid an 0-4 start for the third straight season in conference play.
And really, the college football playoff chances for Missouri hang in the balance as well. For a season that started as well as it did, the loss to Alabama obviously derailed last week, but this is a team that had expectations when you looked at the schedule and how they started of making the college football playoff, and now against a beaten and battered Auburn team, they got to find a way to pull one out here. And for Auburn and Jackson Arnold, a redemption opportunity to get this season back on track.
Arnold had a really good fourth quarter. Missouri shows pressure, and Cobb knifes his way through for 2. Remember, Auburn has struggled in the kicking game. Alex McPherson has missed from both 40 and 38 yards. And that obviously is in the forefront of Hugh Freeze's mind when it comes to play calling here in overtime. Arnold, pressure, taken down. Zion Young, as soon as Missouri won the coin toss, he said, let's go. You know what time it is. And Young's got his second sack of the night.
Boy, making his presence felt. Off the right side for Jackson Arnold, working on Mason Murphy. Great job initially striking and then shedding the hands of Murphy and pushing Auburn probably out of field goal range right now.
Without a doubt. That's the career long for McPherson, but he's not at his career best right now due to health issues. Arnold off his back foot sends it to the hedges. Josiah Trotter was in his lap, and that leaves 4th and 17, and they will trot out Alex McPherson. He's been battling health issues. Last year he was limited, fighting Crohn's disease. He had his large intestine removed. This is a guy who a couple of years ago set the school record for consecutive made field goals, and now they'll ask him to sudden some strength for a 50-yard attempt. And missed it right, left it short, and an empty overtime possession for Auburn.
Wow, a critical sack. Pushed them back even further, and you could tell McPherson put everything he had into that one. Again, not 100%, and just leaves this one short and right.
That was a tough ask.
Really was. They were maybe in better field goal position before Zion Young backed them up, and now this Auburn defense, who has played really well for most of the night, has the biggest task so far.
Bo Prabula boots it to the right, and nobody there, just totally overthrew the only receiver on that side.
And this is where Bo Prabula, actually Kirby Moore, has got to get in the helmet and say, hey, throwing it out of bounds is the best thing that could happen right now. You are in field goal range. You cannot turn the football over. You cannot take a sack. A field goal wins this one. You're at the 25-yard line. You almost feel like a couple runs here would be a really safe decision.
We got Ahmad Hardy in the backfield. 40 is a career long for Robert Meyer. It'd be 42 from here. Hardy trying to make that a little bit easier, and he gets inside the 20. You saying you just run it again, don't risk?
If I'm Kirby Moore, I'm handing the ball to 29 one more time and saying a chip shot field goal gets us out of here with the win.
Blake Craig started the season as Missouri's kicker. He was great last year, but tore his ACL in week 1. Now 3rd and 4. Prabula looking to throw, trying to avoid a sack, and just got back to the line. And now it's up to special teams.
That was a good, quick decision by Bo Prabula, knowing you're in field goal range. Got that in your back pocket. The last thing you could do there is force it, risk a turnover. And here's the ball game.
4th and 5. Robert Meyer, the freshman from Colfax, California, is on for a 38-yard attempt. He hasn't missed from inside 40 this, well, 8 of 9 from inside the 40 this season, and Hugh Freeze will take a timeout.
Timeout, Auburn. That is their first and only timeout of the extra period.
What a pivot point for both programs. Missouri's trying to bounce back from its first loss of the season, stay in the playoff conversation with one loss in the year, with an upcoming trip to surging Vanderbilt, which may be a top 10 team by the time the Tigers get to Vandy next weekend. And Auburn is just looking to survive, send it to another overtime, and try to find some confidence in this program.
Auburn lined up with a big overload to the right side of the kicker.
Connor Wesselman is the holder. Brett LeBlanc is the snapper. And over the upright and wide. No good.
How do you not love college football?
Only a second miss from inside 40. Look close from there. Hugh Freeze saw it no good all the way. Eli Drinkwitz didn't. We play on. The party continues here at Jordan-Hare. They thought it was probably going to be over, but Alec McPherson left his field goal attempt from 50 short. That was a long shot to begin with, and they're throwing their shakers to the ground in the stands. They thought it was over. Eli Drinkwitz thought it was over. Drinkwitz perspective, this one went over the upright but inside, but that one made it obvious it was wide left. And so Missouri will have the ball to start overtime period number 2. Bo Pribula, quarterback for the Tigers. To throw on first down. And a crossing route, Marquise Johnson hauls it in. Jay Crawford all over him. Very little gain, if any.
Boy, Jay Crawford with the big interception. The end of regulation. Great job there on a mesh concept that Mizzou hit for a good gain earlier in the fourth quarter. That time, Crawford all over it.
Pribula goes to the slant. Marquise Johnson has it stripped. Jay Crawford. Yeah. Cole, this Auburn secondary is picking up confidence with every stop.
Absolutely. Playing aggressive as well. We've seen DJ Durkin put them in man coverage, had them on an island multiple times in big pressure spots in the second half, and they've come through.
This is where DJ Durkin has dialed up cover zero pressure, forcing the issue with Bo Pribula.
Here it is again, both edges.
Yep.
Gonna try to get it to slide one way or the other, park the C's in the middle and get to the quarterback.
And Mizzou's gonna think about this one.
Timeout, Missouri. They're forcing only in the extra period.
They're looking at a 3rd and 10 in the second overtime. And Eli Drinkwitz thought that field goal was good. It's not, so we play on. I don't think you can overstate what's on the line for both of these programs. Missouri still has a chance at a playoff. They go to Vanderbilt next week, the surprising Vanderbilt team. And Auburn's just looking to find some air because they've been drowning the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and this defense continues to impress for Auburn. They've been all over Bo Pribula all night. Offense woke up at times. The biggest play of the game right here, 3rd down. DJ Durkin is going to dial up pressure. Can Pribula have a quick answer to get it out of his hands? Because they are in field goal range. Once again, you at least got to walk out of this overtime for Missouri with the field goal.
19th consecutive sellout here in Jordan-Hare. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Coach Kubelik. What a thriller tonight. If Missouri has an answer. They've stacked the line. Here they come. Pribula, deep drop. Lob, caught! First down, Kevin Coleman Jr.
What a great job by Bo Pribula, just drifting. Backing up, gaining ground. He knows he's going to get a lot of pressure from this side, so he's going to drift a little bit to his left. Jamal Roberts gets enough of the blitzing linebacker and a great throw over the middle under pressure.
They went backwards when they had a chance at the end of regulation. They got to the 30. Prabula will run left and try to cut back. Bobby Jamison Travis finally makes a stop. Remember, Auburn has had issues with its kicking game. Their kicker is not 100% healthy or strong. They will not be in field goal range when their possession starts when they get it back here in overtime number 2. On second down, Ahmad Hardy. Pardon me, Jamal Roberts pierces his way through. He picks up a first down, and the Tigers will have it first and goal inside the 2.
Maybe fortunate for the Auburn defense, they got a run play there. There was some confusion, Jordan, with coverage on the near side of that stacked formation that Missouri had lined up.
Yeah, only one guy over there. Jay Crawford over 2 receivers.
Timeout on the field for player injury.
It's Bobby Jamison Travis. Quintrall is his given first name. When he was at junior college at Iowa Western, nobody could pronounce it, so the defensive back said, you know what, we're just going to call you Bobby from now on. He loved it. He's always got a smile on his face, and now Cole, the guy that you said never gets enough love, is being tended to by the training staff. They're looking at his left knee.
Now you hate to see it. He's been such a valuable piece. DJ Durkin lit up when we said that too, because he said we actually celebrate those things that you're talking about that you don't see in the box score, don't see in the stat book, and he does a lot of them for us. He gets that celebration from the staff, and this specific situation is exactly where you'd want to on the field.
Senior from Minneapolis. And the former Minneapolis North Polar Bear is helped to his feet by this Auburn athletic training staff. That is a big loss in the middle of that defensive line, a defensive line that has been incredible throughout this game tonight.
And they made it really tough for Mizzou down here inside the 5, somewhere where one of the best rushing teams in the country, and Missouri usually has a ton of success. To tie the game in the 4th quarter, it took Ahmad Hardy breaking a couple tackles, reaching out the ball at the goal line.
They got Roberts in there now. Hardy is nowhere to be found. Here's Roberts, left side, great penetration, and has nowhere to go. Chris Murray, first man through. Robert Woodyard Jr. is the second. There's Hardy next to Curtis Looper, the running backs coach, and he's strapped up and waiting.
Yeah, maybe a little bust. Nobody is going to block number 3 right here. Chris Murray. Tight end releases to the outside. You got to block that guy.
You had that H-back too, Jordan. Wonder if that insert was in the wrong gap.
I think he was.
Still no Hardy. Cook, pardon me, Prabula takes it straight ahead and gets into the end zone. Bo Prabula following the block, and he's looking to lead Missouri to a comeback 4th quarter win against Auburn, just like his predecessor, Brandon Cook, did last year. Missouri takes the lead in overtime number 2. Cole, you used the word deflated earlier this game about the Auburn sideline. This entire stadium feels deflated now.
That was a bit of a gut punch, but they did get some energy back here on this last drive.
Go for Dose, brought to you by Dos Equis. Daniel Blood in motion. Prabula rolls right into the end zone, knocked away. And Sylvester Smith had the coverage. Have to go for 2 in the second overtime, so Auburn would have to do the same should the Tigers find the end zone.
And now the pressure back on this Auburn offense. Jackson Arnold, Hugh Freeze. Remember, the storyline coming into this game was the short leash on Jackson Arnold. has struggled the last 3 games in their losses, especially in the second half, closing games out or getting them back into games. Now the biggest opportunity to prove to his coach, Hugh Freeze, that he's the guy that can get it done and help turn this season around. It'll take a touchdown and the conversion to win this one here in the second OT, or we go to shootout style 2-point conversions in the third OT.
Second half, 9 of 14 for 127. Missouri sends pressure, and they get it on the shovel pass. Singleton swallowed up by Zion Young, who's got his second tackle for loss in the extra periods.
Boy, I just feel like you have to give Cam Coleman an opportunity downfield in one-on-one coverage if you get it.
I don't think we've seen that play all night.
They're going to put Marvin Burks over there, though, Jordan, make it difficult.
Yeah. Burks, number 1 in white for Mizzou. Arnold gets rid of it clean and finds his tight end, Preston Howard. Third down coming up.
Yeah, they were looking in Coleman's direction, had a safety over the top to help. Great job by Jackson Arnold and navigating the pocket, getting the ball out of his hands to set up a more manageable third down. Hugh Freeze confident with his call, getting to the line of scrimmage quick.
And now the check. Third and 6, don't need all of it here. Cobb has nowhere to go, thrown down by Chris McClellan. And now the season on the line for Auburn, riding a 3-game losing streak. And 4th and 8 to try and stay alive. Cam Coleman, top of the formation in the backfield. Here he comes in motion. Arnold taken down, gets rid of it to his offensive lineman, and that's how it will end. There's a flag for the illegal touching, but that won't matter unless it's a personal foul against Missouri. The officials motioning that Arnold was down when that ball came out, and that, if that's the case, they'll pick it up.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 77. A penalty's declined. Game is over.
Missouri in double overtime sends Auburn to an 0-4 start in SEC play. And Eli Drinkwitz will head to Nashville next week with a battle with one-loss Vanderbilt. He's standing by with Cole.
Coach, I don't know how gritty people thought your team was or what you thought the mental makeup of your team was, but they had to prove a lot tonight.
Yeah, we came in here with a mindset of something to prove, and that's what that group just did tonight. Thank the Lord. Appreciate his grace and mercy on us tonight. But that heart of that football team's unbelievable. So proud of them to come back, to find a way to tie it up, to have that stuff happen at the end of the game, to miss the kick and find a way to win. Gutsy, gutsy.
Quarterback Bo Prabula found a way to make a couple plays too, moving around, a couple big throws.
Whole team, man, our defense played their butt off. You see Zion Young?
Well, I heard him before overtime too, so.
Unblockable, man. What a great night. MIZ.
Thanks, Coach.
Hugh Freeze has lost 4 in a row now, and they've all been heartbreakers. This one coming in double overtime, and Jackson Arnold once again met up with Missouri's defensive line. This was after Bo Prabula took the game into his own hands by finding the end zone to put Missouri ahead in OT, then the second OT.
And then Damon Wilson working on a reserve offensive tackle, the transfer from Georgia, bringing down Jackson Arnold in the biggest moment of the game. And like you said, keeping the college football playoff hopes alive for Missouri and Eli Drinkwitz.
Who knew Missouri and Vanderbilt would meet for an inside track in the CFP? That's the case next week in Music City. Missouri, as Eli Drinkwitz said, had a disaster of a final possession, taking themselves out of field goal range, but survived by finding the end zone in overtime number 2. Wow, what a day in the Southeastern Conference. Fellas back in the studio, break it down. Dari, good luck with this.